Everybody good?
I've had like 3 fucking drinks already.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was a little rough this morning. It wasn't even just like the hangover. It was like the being so full, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, ugh. Because after Mickey Finn's, of course, my mom wanted me to pick her something up for dinner, so I had to get myself like a 3 scoops of turtle sundae from Culver's.
You had to.
And then I ate a Reese's Crispy Crunchy candy bar. Have you had one of those?
Yeah.
So good.
They're fucking pretty delicious.
Yeah.
I like those. Those are really good. All right, let's get into it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are recording here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of downtown beautiful Grays Lake, Illinois on a beautiful, somewhat strange October Monday in Chicago area. It's fucking like 80 degrees outside, which is awesome. My name is Evan Rafferty. Sitting here with me always are my 2 good friends, Jay, the Sausage King of Chicago, Clancy, and Patrick, the Pool Boy Whistler. And boys and girls, it is time for another episode of the 1,
2, 3,
4 Shots podcast. And today we have a very special guest. Sitting here with us is Mr. Paulie Cutt. And Paul, you did 2 things that we love around here. 1, you did your homework and gave me a list to work with. And 2, you brought your own bottle of booze. And today we are drinking Redbreast.
Yeah, I haven't listened to any of your podcasts where somebody actually brought their own booze.
Yeah.
So, hey, man.
Cheers. Shot number 1.
Oof.
I love it.
It's got a little kick at the back.
It's got some on the back end there.
Which one is Lustau? Redbreast Lustau. Ooh. Sherry finish.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Yep, that's sherry.
It doesn't suck.
Yeah. Does not.
Well, Paulie, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me.
You know, you guys, I don't think either of you have met Paulie before. Paulie is someone I worked with over at O'Toole's over in Libertyville. He was working the line when I was bartending over there.
Yep.
We were just talking. You are kind of a journeyman in this industry and everything like that. So let's get right into it. Like, let's tell the people a little something about yourself. Start off with, like, how long have you been in the industry for?
Ooh. Probably since high school. Like in and out of like pizza shops, but
Yeah.
working in the kitchen was always like a go-to thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
What was your
No.
first service industry job?
Oh, I thought about this and I had to go back. Brown's Chicken.
Brown's Chicken.
Yeah.
Delicious until there
Okay,
was a
so
massacre.
it wasn't the one in Palatine where everyone got murdered.
Sweet.
Which one was it?
I worked in Buffalo Grove.
We are
It
definitely
was,
not laughing at that massacre.
yeah.
That
right
was a
across the
terrible
street from the
thing.
high school.
Oh, I think my cousin worked there.
It was.
His name was Noel.
Man, it's been 30 years.
Yeah, well, he like owns one in like LaGrange or something now.
Brown's Chicken's still around?
Yeah.
That shit
Dude,
was delicious. I'm
By
not
far
gonna
some
lie.
of the best chicken around.
Yeah.
Brown's
Oh, yeah.
Chicken was really popular around here because Popeyes was just too spicy for people. Yeah.
Part of it.
'Cause
But
they
Browns
white.
is, I don't know. Browns is, I like both. But Brown, I don't know. That was our go-to.
Brown's was
Order
so good.
a
I
bunch
didn't
of
know they
chicken
were
for
around.
Browns was
Yeah.
totally our
Oh,
go-to.
yeah.
There was one in Highland Park right on
Yeah.
22 and 41.
Do you guys
that we
remember
always went to.
Vaughn's Chicken? There's a
No.
couple of those around here. There's one in Mundline when I was growing up. Vaughn's
No.
Chicken.
I heard Bojangles is coming to Chicagoland.
I'll be-
Bojangles is fucking good.
What's the other one from the South? Churches.
Churches. I
Churches
haven't had
chicken.
churches.
I've never had that. I'm just happy we have a Raising Cane's now. That shit's fucking fire.
I still haven't had
Raisin
it.
Cane's
You've
is
never had
good.
Raising Cane's?
No.
dude?
I've heard the
Never
big
had
deal
it.
is the sauce.
Sauce is fucking bomb. But it's,
Here's the
dude,
big deal.
it's-
They're not overcooked.
Yeah, and
That's
and
to me
it's
is the big
fre-
deal.
It's
So
never
you can
frozen.
get chicken like mid-rare?
You
Yeah.
get chicken that's like still juicy
Yeah.
as fuck, like
Dude,
super juicy.
That reminds me of when I was working with you actually one time. I knew it was going to happen. It was like right when we opened up. But like if I ordered a chicken sandwich, it prompted like the temperature.
Yeah.
And I had to pick one, so I just put mid-rare. And like next thing I know, you come walking up with the face like, what the
Like,
fuck? I'm like,
what the
I'm like,
fuck?
bro, I just, they made me say something.
Yeah, they made me pick one.
Yeah.
That was like one of my things I loved to do at O'Toole's, man. It's like I see a tick, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh man. Or even like when people are like with chicken, they're like, I want it cooked all the way. I'm like,
I want
it
it.
has to be.
I want it.
Yeah, there's
I want it
there's like
crispy but
one.
juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Raising Cane's it's very juicy and tender.
Dude,
Like, you never
fresh
get it where
chicken.
it's
They
like dry.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I have this thing with them where it's like, you know, you try and eat healthy, but it's impossible unless you like spend $20 on a salad or something stupid. So I like
I saw you
try
do that
and
yesterday.
minimize. Yeah, I like try and minimize like the gratuitous like absolutely not a bite of green vegetable in your whole meal type of meals. You know what I'm talking about? Just like a burger with no lettuce and then like chicken nuggets and fries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like. They throw in this giant, like 1.5 inch thick
Texas
piece
toast?
of brioche Texas toast that's got to be 500 fucking calories.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck you, fat ass. You're gonna eat it.
And the best thing to do, like you literally take the giant Texas toast, and then you take the tendy, put it on there, a couple French fries, and then the fucking sauce on top, the cane sauce on top, and eat it like a fucking hot dog bun. Oh, it's so fucking good.
It's
dude.
crazy good.
It's
you
so
just
good.
bite into the
Yeah.
toast by itself, and it's like so buttery and salty.
And I will admit, the line is fucking
Feel
ridiculous.
my arteries
The line is
clogging
fucking
right now
ridiculous.
just
It
thinking
always
about
Still
is.
just the one ingredient.
Dude, yeah,
Or is
but
there
I mean,
another one?
even in Colorado, like, cause, like there was one in downtown sort of downtown Fort Collins, like on the main strip, but off of downtown. And if like 5:30 on a Saturday, there'd be a fucking like 6-block like traffic jam on that street just because people were in line for the drive-through.
There's
It's
one.
always like that.
There's one in Thornton, right? There's one in Thornton now that shares a fucking parking lot with In-N-Out, and it looks like a fucking drive-in movie theater at this place, like 24/7.
Or like you're going
There's
into
like
the airport.
nine fucking rows of traffic, like in and out.
Oh
of
my
this
god,
place
In and
all
Out's
day.
so good too.
I know.
When people say they don't like In and Out, I just want to spit on them.
I get that. I get that you could feel it's overhyped, but to be like objectively, it's not good. I'm like, no. It's totally good.
Everything's always overhyped, like, but
Yeah.
it's so fucking good. Like,
Nothing can ever live up to the height. I mean, people used to shit their pants about Coors. They're like, yeah, you can't get Coors here, and they made a fucking movie, Smokey and the Bandit, about
dude.
literally
And it turned into a TV
smuggling
show.
Coors. And it's like, okay, how different was
We
Coors
should make a
really
cartoon.
from like MGD?
we should
You
make a
know?
cartoon of us fucking hijacking trucks of fucking In and Out and bringing it to Illinois. Like we're driving through like
Get here and it's fucking gross. And
We're-
just
You're gonna have to bankroll like Smokey and the Bandit though.
I went to the West Coast twice.
He's eastbound and down.
oh, man.
right.
And on my way out there, I was like, you gotta go to In-N-Out Burger. You cannot forget this time. And I was in California for a month. Totally forgot to even get it. And then I was like in Oregon. And literally, I'm like, God, I need to get In-N-Out Burger. There's 2 of them in Oregon. I'm driving by both of them. Because they're not like in Portland. They're like in Bumblefuck, Oregon for some reason.
Yeah.
And I just remember being on the highway, and then I like drove past it and realized I had forgotten the exit. I'm like, God, I fucking blew it again. So I finally had it in Colorado last summer, and it's really good.
It's so good. It's like Wendy's and Culver's had a baby like after they fucked.
So my friends who live in Colorado
They had a baby.
are
after
of
they
the
fucked. That's how
opinion.
that works, right?
They're of the opinion
Yeah,
that
before they
The,
fucked.
the conventional way.
Right. Yeah. Right. No storks involved. Just
Dude,
just a bunch of cheeseburger banging, man.
first thing and last thing I do when I'm in Vegas is fucking In and Out. You go straight from the airport to the In and Out.
Wait, we're still talking about chicken, right?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. First thing I do to Vegas is go and take a bunch of cash and get the In-N-Out. No,
So
so
is that from fucking Clockwork Orange?
Yeah.
The old in out,
Yeah.
in out.
So my friends think that Culver is better than In-N-Out, and I gotta say,
that's close.
Culver's
It's
is
fucking great.
really, really fucking good. In-N-Out has like a little more like of their unique tangy sauce thing going
The
on,
animal
and
style's
a
where
little
it's
more
at.
veggies on it. I want to say, but Culver's has the like.
The Butterburger.
It's just.
I have a question.
It's
for you
really
guys.
good.
Have you guys ever heard of Beefaroo? It's a Rockford-based, basically Arby's.
Beef-a-roo?
Beefaroo.
No.
I had never heard of it before, but I
Is
was
it
at
a
a
real
wedding
thing?
in Freeport. Yeah, there's 10 of them.
And whose wedding
And,
were you at out there?
V1V1D, the disease / rapper.
Wait,
Who used to be our camera guy? Yeah, Dweezil the
no,
Weasel.
he was the sound guy. He was the
sound
producer.
guy. Yeah, that's right.
Then all of
Camera
a
guy's
sudden-
cool.
Yeah, our original producer became a fucking huge Spotify rapper or something like that.
It was in the works for a long time. Not because of this. We don't think, but who knows?
It did happen like coincidentally at
It
the same
just
time.
seems like,
there's no coincidence.
It's kind of like our argument with him is like the Travis Kelce fucking Taylor Swift thing. Like
Oh God,
who
can
started
that
who?
please- that- can
I'm
that
so
please
tired of
stop?
hearing
I'm
about
so
that,
tired
dude.
of this seeing this
I've
shit.
never wanted to bury my head in the sand so much, and I'm a fucking Bears fan. The Taylor Swift, but it's good money for the NFL. That's what they're doing it for.
I'd watch that movie.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, beefaroo. This is gonna only take 30 seconds. Somebody that was at the wedding was from out that way and was like, "You got to stop by beefaroo on the way back. It's like Arby's but better." And
That's
so-
kind of a like a double negative
yeah,
right
it was like,
there.
Ooh.
Really?
That Arby's is delicious.
I'm intrigued.
I
Yeah.
fucking love Arby's.
And it was this weird. I
Little
was
beef
told
and
that I should
cheddar.
have gone in and sat down, but we were driving back from a wedding in Freeport on a Sunday. We were not trying to hang out. We were trying to get the fuck home. So we ate in the car like dirty animals, and it was like Arby's, but just slightly different.
It was like beef and cheddar with curly
yeah.
fries.
When you can
Ooh.
actually get a beef and
It's
cheddar
weird.
at Arby's.
It's weird
Yeah.
how
So
it
good.
being Rockford based takes what I already think is like the most disgusting thing you could possibly eat and just makes it sound so much fucking worse.
Dude,
Like if you took something
everybody
completely
there-
white trash and made them fuck
like
something from
you
Mississippi.
think people at Culver's are polite? The beefaroo staff, at least at this one, in Loves Park, absurdly polite, like over the top nice.
just that good old fashioned Midwestern attitude,
And then
right
they handed
there. I
me a
love
sandwich
it.
that I'm pretty sure
That
took a
area
month
is
off my
not
life.
Midwest.
Yeah, well, it's
That's like
yeah, they have food like Arby's. They'd better be nice.
No, they're fancy restaurants in Olive Garden.
Oh, and they have baked potatoes too. That's one of their big things. They have soups, baked potatoes, beef and cheddars. Yeah,
Does Arby's has baked potatoes?
I don't know.
right?
They
I've
used
never
to- I
gone
think
out-
they
I've
used to have
never
the
gone
loaded
there for a
baked
baked
potato.
They used to
man.
have like a
Wendy's used
loaded
to.
baked potato
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know Wendy's had a baked potato thing for a long time. They
What's
were
that
really
other
big
one,
on chili for a while too.
McAllister's. McAllister's.
Dude, that
like
thing is
deli.
absurd. That potato
It's
looked
a
like it
bur-
was
dude,
like grown in
it's
Chernobyl
huge.
or something.
Right. It's like
It's-
several potatoes.
It
Stitched
looked like
together.
Randy
Yeah.
Moss shit. Like
I
it's
go to
huge.
restaurants. I'm like,
Yeah.
where did you buy
Where-
those fucking potatoes?
Where is this growing?
like this.
No. We designed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 3D printed.
Yeah, right.
All right. Let's get back into it. We fucking
All right,
went
so
on.
Brown's
it.
chicken?
Brown's chicken. That's your first
That
job.
was my first job, and
What were you doing like to start off?
right away, fry cook.
Just right. They threw you.
Yeah,
How old
man.
were you at the time?
15.
15. Oh shit.
Then all my buddies were like all delivering pizzas, working in pizza parlors, and
Cool.
selling weed on the side.
Right.
Well, you got to
Because
make
that's
ends
what
meet.
high school kids do.
You got to make ends.
Those
meet.
jobs are kind of a
Yeah.
symbiotic relationship.
To me, that was
Those
some,
pair of
there was
Yeezys aren't
something
by
about
themselves,
that
right?
was like,
Yeah.
intriguing. Like I saw it like as like, wow, that's fucking cool. Like all they do is smoke pot and eat pizza. That's like shit. It's
Yeah.
my dream.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
Have you met Patrick?
It's crazy. People are like, "Yeah, I made all this money selling weed." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Was
Sold
that line?
weed for fucking 20 years. All I ever made was weed. You get any money from selling weed? It's so dumb.
The line in Friday is like, it's like, how are you supposed to sell the weed if all you do is smoke it? It's my only problem.
Yeah. You're like, well, but then you don't buy weed, right? Really?
Well, you're not.
You're
let's
save-
just say
you're not
that
making
you're not,
money, you're
not
saving
making
money.
money.
Oh shit. Okay, so how long are you at this Brown's Chicken for? Like all of high school or?
No, maybe about 6 or 7 months. Because obviously I saw my buddies and they're all smoking pot, and then obviously I was too, which leads to much worse decisions later on in life.
Well, sure.
Well,
Yeah.
You know,
So
everything's got to start somewhere.
But that was pretty much what I did through high school. Is just work in pizzerias and go to college and drink myself out of there.
Cool.
So when I come back, obviously working in the kitchen, it's like my go-to. That's what I can do. That's what I know.
Where'd
how
you go to
do.
college at?
SIU.
Okay. Yeah, well, and Southern is a real easy one to drink out of.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Jesus.
So I come back and I start working in another pizzeria, and eventually I actually got into a little bit of trouble, and then I got my shit together and I went to culinary school. Went up to CLC, but
That's
believe it
actually
or
really,
not,
that's a really good program
they
they
have a
over
great
there.
program
Yeah.
out there. They really do have a good program.
You just yada through that trouble like the Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, that's
It's like, did you just yada through jail?
Several stints. Yeah.
All right, sorry for the call.
No, that's
but
okay.
I thought it was funny.
I mean, there's
And
definitely
then, some bullshit, and then,
there definitely was probably a drug addiction or two, and definitely a few stints in jail within that yada yada.
Yeah.
Easily.
What like when you decided to go to culinary school, were you like just getting out of like trouble and like you kind of saw this as something?
No,
like,
I was actually ear deep in trouble, and that was kind of like what I saw as my out.
as your way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like the only thing I could really cling on to that was always there, that wouldn't change.
Sure.
Had you caught in the bug? Like, did you always like it? Like from when you started in
Absolutely.
high school? So like right away, you kind of like.
Even before then, like it's been instilled in me since I was this tall. I mean, my grandparents used to take me into the kitchen and show me all kinds of cool shit. So 'cause they're very authentic Scandinavians.
Okay.
So like baking, there was always pastries in the house. Yeah, and it was, oh my god, the
Salted
smells coming out of
fish.
that kitchen is fucking ridiculous. I can still smell it to this day.
Oh yeah.
But that's kind of where I caught the bug. It's
So like when you were a little kid, like
little
you're in
kid.
there with the
It's like I
grandparents.
was just always around it, and it was always like, God damn, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty much how. I mean, it was just there. It was never like a spark or anything, but it was just always like a go-to, like a fallback.
Sure.
Yeah. Very cool. So you end up going to like, culinary. Where do you land after like when you're in the clear? Like,
So believe it or not, I wasn't even in the industry at that point. I worked for a moving company, cross country industrial moving,
Okay.
and again I run into some more trouble.
Yeah.
Yada.
Yeah.
And actually, then
You got
I
the third yada in. Yeah.
and then that's when I moved up here.
Okay.
where are you from originally?
Originally Chicago, but I grew up in Buffalo Grove.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you end up in
And
a little
moved,
bit norther.
Moved up north, the Mundelein area in 2005, and I walked away from everything. Like I just had a girl, had an apartment, like
Cool.
walked away from it, like just walked away. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Nice.
For the better, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, because
Positive?
I mean, if you don't change certain things, you're never,
Yep.
nothing's ever going to change.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you honestly might not be around.
That's very possible.
Yeah. Okay. So like, what's your next like serious job in the business?
You're probably going to laugh. It wasn't serious, but Tommy's.
Oh yeah.
Like Tommy's in Libertyville?
Yeah.
You worked over at Tommy's?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I worked there for
Didn't you work
three,
there too?
like 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't work. I worked there for maybe 6 months or something like that. But like,
Yeah.
R.I.P. Timmy. Like, I the kid
Yeah.
that I was just telling you about. You might know him. The kid that owns that beer bar that I
Yeah.
used to run. He used to run the Tommy's in Spring Grove.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Do you know Chris Schaffernack?
Yeah, I do.
That's my best friend. Big goofy fuck. So when I moved back here, I had a bunch of interviews like lined up in the city. My sister used to work with Corey, Groupie,
Yep.
like way back in the day, and so I had like something like an interview with them, like pretty much like come on in and stuff like that. But they were still doing their construction, so my dude was like, go talk to Timmy over at Tommy's, and you get a job. So I'd literally drive back overnight, like 16 hours from Colorado, leave at like 9 at night, and get here at like 7 in the morning.
That's a hell of a drive.
Meet him at like 10 in the morning, like on no sleep, and he literally just goes like, "You're Chris's buddy, like you're good. Like come back at 4, we'll train you." And I was like,
Yeah,
"All right, I'm gonna
sounds
go
like
take
Tim.
a nap." Like,
Yeah.
and then like a week later, he found out like he actually grew up with like, my uncle. He was really good buddies with my uncle growing up, and my dad taught their kids over at the local high school over there, and so like after that, I was just like,
At first, Tim didn't like me at all, because I actually used to hang out over at Emil's, and
Okay.
a couple of
hold
people
on a
over
second.
at-
Hold on a
Rivalry
second. We're
thing, yeah.
we're gonna do another one real quick here for him. I mean, R.I.P. Timmy. Fucking
Yeah, R.I.P.
Bose, dude.
Timmy.
Great fucking dude.
Who's Timmy?
He was the
owner of Tommy's. He also had a piece of like Emil's and
Well,
Jake
he's a Bose.
Yes.
So
Like the radio?
No. Like
no, with a W.
Emil's Center Cut,
Crossroads.
Crossroads, Moran's, Tommy's. Yeah.
I don't know
Brothers
them.
own
It's
all
like there's like 5 four brothers, something like
Yeah,
that.
the old man.
Emil's.
They all got a piece of the original
Yeah.
Emil's, I think, when the
So
old
let's
man
put
died.
that up, man. R.I.P. fucking Timmy Bose.
Yep.
Love you, dude.
Cheers, Timmy.
Cheers to that.
Tragic.
that's got bite.
Whew. Man. Okay. And Tommy's is a sports bar, right? Like,
Yeah.
You know, so you're doing what, like
So I'll-
pizzas, fries, shit?
yeah.
Like,
Just,
I
but
didn't even know they had food there, to be honest, because I
Yeah.
never went there before fucking like 12:30.
believe it or not,
Ever.
same pizzas, like Nemo's and shit like that. So,
yeah,
it's
well,
good.
Yeah, I
different
just was
sauce.
never there till after hours. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I got to the point where I was just working that kitchen by myself.
Yeah.
Then I started getting back into some old demons, and it's like, oh well, look, I can actually drink on the job.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a tough industry.
It's a blessing and it's a curse, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like being like newly like walking away from everything and being like, okay, new life, new clean. I'm not gonna do this, not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But booze is okay.
Sure.
Right.
It's socially acceptable, right?
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, but at that point, I obviously hadn't drawn the line between professional and recreational.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, that was
that issue too.
you know,
Sometimes.
I was still in trouble with the law at that point, which was kind of why I was working at Tommy's because Timmy was the only guy that would give me a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find it like hard to, like, what? Because you had a record at that point, were you finding
Well,
it hard?
I was fighting it at that point.
Yeah.
Like I actually beat it, but it's still you know, you're not necessarily innocent in the court of your peers yet.
Sure.
Right. But did you find it hard, like going in? Like, did you have to go into interviews?
Very
and-
intimidating. Like I felt like I was walking on eggshells everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had something to prove.
Right.
Sure.
So okay, you end up, you know, leaving Tommy's or whatever.
So actually, I didn't leave. Here's the funny thing about leaving Tommy's. So I never left. I got fired technically because you know every year at Libertyville we play the softball game, right?
Well, twice a year. We don't do it anymore.
Not
but
anymore,
we used to.
but we
Yeah.
used to.
You guys know about this?
What?
So Labor Day and Memorial Day, the Libertyville bartenders had a softball game on each of those, and it was the greatest thing in the fucking world. Like,
Oh, we would get wrecked
and like we,
in same
I,
place.
we, I, want- yeah, I want to keep. Like it was kind of sanctioned. Wink, wink. Eyeball, you know,
What do you mean?
like
Sponsored, sort of by.
Well, they knew we were doing it.
There-
you
there
know,
was-
And, like we had a full bar, like out on the park, like
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Oh yeah.
like you know, and it'd be 3 teams,
Yeah.
and you'd be in the field, batting or drinking, and you went from like drinking to batting to fielding,
It was
and then it was
interesting.
whoever had the most runs at the you know,
So and it fell.
and
on,
it was just awesome.
it was fun.
It was the it was,
It was
so
one of the
fun.
greatest, like one of the things you
Yeah.
look forward to.
Oh my
like, every
god, dude!
year.
I moved out here and they were like telling me about this. I was like, the first one I had to do. I think I was working at Tommy's for like 2 weeks, and they're like telling me about this. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, let's go play. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I think I'm an athlete or whatever. Go out there, just get blacked out. And I'm working at Tommy's at the time, and then dude looks at me and he goes, all right, we got to go open the bar up for the Blackhawks Stanley Cup game. And we literally get to the bar, and I'm so drunk, dude. I'm like, all right, and I like reach out my left arm and I reach out my right arm and I go, I got from here to here, guys. Like this is what I got. Like,
Yeah. This is what I can handle
these
right
5 people right here. This is who I'm serving. And they're just like, all right, whatever. Fuck.
Yeah.
That game's why Tim fired me.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like, you got to work, I'm like, dude. I'm playing softball, man. No, you can't. Well, actually, I
I
can.
didn't think about that. A lot of those places were still open that day.
Yeah.
back then, I
Well,
mean,
I still showed up for work, but I wasn't in any
Yeah.
shape to work. I'm like,
Sure.
here, I'm still here. He's like,
that was probably before I got there because, yeah, like we were kind of just like, they were actually,
well,
I think,
he
closed
actually
on Monday.
banned me for a couple of years because of that.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking banned me, man. But I mean, after a few years and everything, you know, iced over and everything
Yeah.
was good.
Anybody been banned from a place?
I'm still
I
banned from
don't
a
think
place.
so. But I did tell you about the place I got kicked out from.
Yeah.
That might have been a ban.
No, I
Bowling
don't.
alley? I don't know.
There's a paradox where you can't really remember being kicked out of anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because,
yeah, right.
because you were blacked out. That's
The
why you got
Denny's
kicked
in
out.
Gurnee. Me and my
How
buddy.
do you get banned from a Denny's?
Well, we would go after dollar beer nights, and my buddy, great dude, R.I.P. But he liked fucking with people, and like he was like, "It's fucking Denny's, man. It's whatever." So yeah, he
It's
was just,
Denny's. Let's have some fun.
He was he was. We
Did
were
they
like
kick-
22 years.
I was gonna
old.
say, did the staff kick the
He
shit out
got
of you?
banned, but like I think I sort of did too. We were told not to come back like 5 separate times, and this was in one summer. So
Stay
like
out
they
of
straight
Wendy's.
up probably had that happen every night and just didn't remember who they were telling not to come back. And if they had cameras, they were like, "We're not. All right, that guy's not allowed back." But the one time when we never went back afterwards was because he was hammered and then he ate like an omelet way too fast at like 2 a.m, whatever. Runs into the men's room and thought it would be funny to barf into every orifice, like the 3 sinks, the 2 toilets, and the 3 urinals. And he did that.
Well, at least he
It
was
is pretty
efficient.
funny. It's pretty funny.
It's funny if you don't give a shit about other people, because somebody's got to clean that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a rough one. Shout out if whoever had to clean that up hears this, hit me up, man. I'll give you some money. 'Cause
What we
that's
gotta
fucked
start
up.
doing is like shouting out like places we thrown up. 1998 Waffle House puked in the fucking parking lot. Shout out to the busboy to clean that shit up.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
you know-
let's talk about wine about winter.
Oh, we'll get into that.
You know the motel right next to the cemetery on Grand where you get on the tollway?
Yeah.
I went to the
Oh, man,
chiropractor
that's a
in
scary
Lake
laugh.
Villa. I went to the chiropractor in Lake Villa, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so hungover," and she's like, "Oh, hair of the dog." She's this lady from Germany, and she just like pulled back the cover on a fucking keg of High Life that was like in a barrel of ice on her deck. And these people are like 45, 50 years
Wait,
old, like
this
bald,
was a
shaved.
chiropractor?
My chiropractor. I was working out of her house.
Oh,
She was working out of her house
Jesus.
in Lake Villa. So we, she has like a studio in her basement. So we walk out of like the massage area, and she's like, "Oh, you want hair of the dog?" So I had 2 fucking High Lifes while my mom was getting her back cracked, and we're like driving home to Lake Bluff.
Wow.
And I had to pull over into that Office Plaza hotel there and barf in the parking lot like fucking
Is that
10 times.
The Holiday Inn right there. Or the one?
Yeah. Right next to the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty memorable public barfing of mine. I'm really
you
good.
win, dude.
I'm
You
really
win.
good at
Yeah.
not barfing in inappropriate places. Like really, really good.
Well, you've told us your theory before that you have 10 minutes, and you think everybody has 10 minutes, that they know there's a potential chance.
You
that
start
they could barf.
salivating.
Well,
when you
yeah,
gotta
your
go.
mouth
Then
starts
you get
watering.
somewhere
and
safe, or figure out somewhere safe.
yeah, no, you lying to yourself if you think your mouth's watering, you're not going to fucking barf.
Right.
Like you're an idiot.
I've won
This is-
before, but yeah, it's not worth it.
No, I have one before too,
But
but
you
I
have to
don't. I
figure out what
don't.
you're
I
gonna
don't
do
stray
next.
from the toilet. Just
once
just in
it starts
case.
happening, you can't beat that. Like,
No,
it's-
sometimes you can
the
like
vomit's
hit a
gonna
little
win.
weed
You're just gonna
and-
feel so much
You gotta
better
breathe.
when you do it
You
too.
gotta
Just
breathe.
go fucking into a parking lot and just fucking
Yeah.
unload.
Just go fucking heat it
Yeah.
out. Get it
See,
over
I
with.
feel like I can feel it splash on my ankles if I
Oh.
barf on concrete. I never barf on like the.
you
back.
gotta do
you gotta
the
get a
jump
little
back like
projectile
that.
going. You know,
Like, it's literally like
gotta
the
arc.
jump back. Like you go like
you got to arc.
that.
You find a bush,
That works too.
and then you're out of the way too.
I don't
I-
trust
Yeah,
bushes either.
too many
I-
projectiles to,
I get down.
Like,
and
why is there a
puke in the
bush right
toilet.
here?
to deflect vomit.
No, I barf in the toilet, pretty much. Maybe a garbage can.
Okay.
fucking Mr. Rockefeller over here.
It's etiquette.
Yeah, again,
You
fucking
can't just
Mr.
barf outside. People have pets.
They lick that
If
stuff.
you barf in someone's yard, their dog's 100% eating. You
Oh,
can't do
my
that.
dog is definitely
Super
100%
not
going
allowed.
We're
to
not
do
talking
it.
about yards, man. If somebody's dog's yard is the parking lot of a motel, which is
Somebody's
what we're talking about, then that's that. They got other shit to worry about, man.
Oh, man.
Not the motel parking lot barf, which is.
Is this still the first segment?
Yeah, we haven't
Jeez.
we haven't made it through his fucking jobs yet.
Yeah,
We're like
shut the fuck
we're at
up.
like 1992 right now.
It's yeah,
No, we're into the 2000s.
Okay.
yeah.
I got a funny story about yards that I don't know if I should share it or not. All right. Has anybody ever like shit outside before?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this your peeing story when you like just were in the yard sleepwalking?
No. That was when I
That's a
was
great one too.
yeah. I mean that's funny. When I was a kid, I used to fucking like sleepwalk.
Yeah, I've been backpacking where you like dig a hole and shit.
No, I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
I'm not talking about
Not
that.
in like suburbia.
So like,
Okay.
I'm leaving the college
I'm
bar.
talking about like the mountains of New Mexico.
Yeah,
where
no,
there's,
I'm talking about
grizzly
like
bears.
downtown Fort Collins. So I'm leaving the college bar one night, and it's like a 12 block, long like skateboard, longboard ride home. and a block from the bar on the way home is the 7-Eleven right on the corner. So I would always stop and grab like Gatorade and like 2 taquitos and like bounce out, on the longboard. So I go in there, get the Gatorade, get the 2 jalapeno cream cheese taquitos, smash those.
Nice choice.
Fucking, jump on the board. I make it about another 2 blocks, and I'm like, uh-oh. Like, that's trouble. I'm like,
I don't know if anybody's ever said this before, but those gas station taquitos are not sitting right.
yeah. So I'm like,
what could possibly be wrong with my
What could
stomach?
possibly go wrong?
and I'm literally like, I'm gonna
Should I have had 3?
I'm gonna blow that room up when I get to the house. And I make it about another 3 pedals where I'm like, oh no. Like this is happening right now. Like there's no choice. There's not like it's just it's gonna happen. It's coming.
It's Dumb and Dumber, like you're ready,
dude.
We're like racing to it, trying to get your pants off.
I run over it like this dude had hedges, man. Like on the front
God.
sidewalk. So I run over and I'm just in between them and just fucking let it go. And just 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, just looking left and right in between these hedges, make sure no one's coming up, just like ruining this guy's fucking nicely freshly cut front yard.
Oh,
And
did he actually were they like trimmed up and everything?
Oh yeah, no, it was like, and like he had like the nice little
was like
lights
a
around the
box
front of the
score.
house. Like it was nice.
like literally ruined
Yeah,
some
dude,
dude's
like,
front
oh,
yard.
just
highlighting
fucked it up,
your-
man.
yeah.
like just
Like,
spray painting
yeah,
it.
just like if you walked up with a handful of paint and threw it at a canvas like that, and I mean, so there's nothing like
So full Jackson Pollock.
so yeah. so like what do you have on you? You got a sock. So use
Socks are the first.
use a
had a
sock.
sock,
Use
yeah.
a sock and what are you gonna do with the sock? You just you leave it. It's like, sorry, buddy.
Somebody threw a sock full of shit on our lawn.
I usually end up using the underpants and ditching those, to be honest.
The thing with the sock is that you can wipe and you can fold and wipe again.
It's true.
With the underpants, it's like you're one and done.
It's true.
You use the outside of the sock and then put your foot back in the inside.
You can flip it inside out too.
No, I always thought about that though. Like, what did that guy think when he came out in the morning to get his newspaper or something?
He's like, I bet some asshole on a longboard got
He-
taquitos at 2
I mean,
a.m.
when I see
Fingerless gloves and an
human,
iPhone.
when I see obviously human shit in an urban environment, I immediately think homeless people. So.
This is Roger.
But a homeless guy wouldn't have left that sock.
Yeah.
No,
This person,
He would at least took it to a creek. and
nowadays
washed
some
it.
homeless people they'll take Zelle.
true.
Oh, fuck. Okay. So
Jesus.
let's keep going. I don't even. Where are we at? We're at Tommy's, right? Like
Yeah.
you leave Tommy's. So where do you go after that? Like
So-
you're back in the shit a little bit,
I'm drinking. I'm staying away from my drug of choice, obviously.
right?
So I take a job at 545. And I was working with Patrick and CNR.
Oh yeah. I know Pat. Like Patty's good people.
Yeah. And then
CNR's a nice ass fucking guy.
nice enough. Yeah. I mean, I never had an issue with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard obviously stories, but not that any of that matters.
Yeah.
But he was always like straight up with me.
Cool.
And then I
Shout out Patrick Joyce.
yeah. I took a job at Chili U after that.
You were at the U.
Yeah.
Fucking Billy U was just in Finn's yesterday.
Billy?
Yeah.
I missed that guy.
Dude, Billy's good people. Fucking
Yeah.
shout out Billy U. What's up? All right, so you end up at.
I was working at Chili U, and then
Are you just like line cooking at each one of these
Yeah.
places? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Chili U. Actually, I got to meet. That's where I met Colton. Colton, he's a Libertyville legend for the most part. I've worked,
Lutter.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, the kid is so talented, man. He's a firefighter now. He actually walked away from culinary.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Kid was so talented. And him and I working the line together were like, you couldn't get anything past us, man. Like, we had to take it like that. Not even worried about it.
Yeah.
The kid's a stud. But then the opportunity came for, Timothy O'Toole's. Thing is that they took an extra year to open.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous how long it was delayed.
Yeah, I was gonna say like when I came out here, it was supposed to already be open, and then
Yeah.
like it's still. That's how I ended up.
It was
at
like
Tommy's,
almost
'cause
a
they're
year
like-
and a half. Like how long it took to open it up because they just kept.
Beyond when they said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, but that's like
That's how it is.
It's
now,
everything
man.
with construction. Like
Yeah.
we'll get into this in the next segment, but we just went through some construction, and I couldn't believe we actually got done earlier than like the day.
Yeah.
I was like, I was literally telling everybody like, just we're gonna be off for a while. Like,
And that's when we went to Chicago and just said, okay, well, because I wanted to work at O'Toole's because I'm like, this is great
Yeah.
opportunity. Like, and I knew Corey was there. And
Yeah.
I
Shout
wanted
out
to work,
Corey Groupie.
Yeah, and I wanted to work for a legitimate chef because I was hungry at that point.
Yeah.
And it just took so long. We just you remember Tim Schweigel?
oh yeah,
Him and I went out to Chicago with his old man, and we opened up a restaurant.
it's like while you were waiting on the O'Toole
Yeah.
thing, you guys ended up. Okay.
Yeah, we opened up Mother Clucker's restaurant.
Okay.
I think they have 3 of them now.
Cool.
But then obviously helped them build that, and then when the O'Toole's thing is like, okay, it's available. I'm like, okay, well, I'm out of Chicago,
Yeah. Right.
and then I landed at O'Toole's and start working with Corey, Junior, and Sarah.
When you do the Mother Cluckers thing, were you just helping them open up like? Was that,
I wrote
is
their
it
menu.
a franchise or?
No, it's not. I mean, I'm not sure what they're doing with it at this point.
Yeah.
But when we did it, it was just like, okay, it's all or nothing type of thing.
And you were doing.
right?
You went back to your roots with the fried chicken,
Well, we did roasted chicken, yeah.
roasted chicken. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
We were like doing like southern stuff, like collard greens were on our menu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
It was that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I liked, and then I mean, especially in that area of Chicago. It fucking
some
worked.
soul food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, fucking shout out.
But it was
Harold's
cool, man.
Chicken.
And that was my first opportunity to write a menu.
Nice. That's always that had to be fucking validating. After,
It was,
you know,
yeah, very much
making
so.
somebody else's menu for how long, and then
Yeah.
you get a chance to.
I think they're still rocking it today.
Nice.
And like when you're talking about writing the menu, like you came up with all the recipes and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Did you have chances to like collab any of the places before that you'd worked? Were you able to
A
contribute
little
to the
bit.
menu?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't there yet in my skill set.
Okay.
You know, I was still learning. You know.
Did you feel like ready for it when it was your chance to write a menu?
No.
Were you no, not at all.
No, not
But
even
do you think
close.
it worked anyway?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
fuck yeah.
I mean, they're still open.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
When you were
that's-
doing it, because I remember, like when my first like gig doing it, when I did the pizza place for that college bar, I literally was like, the guy was like, I want to do pizza, and I'm like, I've never made
Dude,
pizza,
it's easy, dude. It's the
But I'm
biggest
like-
margin you're gonna get in a restaurant.
but I was like, I know. When I worked for Rosebud, there was this Italian guy, and like right before I left, they were trying to get me to kind of like learn his shit so they could get rid of him, which was bullshit. Even though I still love Rosebud, but the guy was literally like, I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it because I think they're trying to fire me, which he was correct in thinking.
Yeah.
But like when it came time for this pizza thing, I'm like, I know the recipes. Like,
It ain't as easy
I
as it
remember,
sounds.
Yeah, I was
I
just
can
like,
tell you that.
No, it's not. And so I hired a kid who ran a pizza place, as their like main like pizza thrower, and I was like, listen, I got the recipe. You have to show me how to like throw
and your dough and your
pies."
sauce is everything too,
Yeah,
man. Like
and so
everything.
and we were literally throwing them. We were slapping them. Like we weren't
Nice.
doing rolling them out. Like
Yeah.
we
Hand
were
tossed,
slapping
yeah.
them. Yeah. And so I hired him, and then I made the dough and the sauce, and he's like, "That's really good." And I was like, "Thank you." And then I literally made like 4 batches of dough, which got me like 120 fucking like pizzas. And I was like, I just had to sit there and be like, I'm gonna throw this till I get it. It took about 100 doughs to get to like being good. Like 50 you would get it, and 100 you
At
could
first,
get
you're
it
just trying not
fast.
to put your hand through it.
Yeah.
You know?
But,
Until
like-
you figure out how to like really spread it.
But when,
like,
but I
let gravity kind of do its thing.
Right. But going back to like writing that menu, did you feel like you were saying you kind of you didn't feel prepared or whatever?
Maybe it was a little self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
Like
You
shit,
did
like,
you feel like you kind of fake it till you make it in that regard?
that was my whole intention.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at that point, I had no experience whatsoever in doing that.
Yeah.
None. Zero.
You just
I
steal little
just-
bits that you know from here and there.
Just like I pay attention to like little subtle things, and like you learn how to build recipes, and
Well, and asking questions about stuff too. If you do that along the way too.
you-
Like,
and-
why do you do that instead of that?
and also
Tell
being
you.
the glutton for punishment, picking up every single shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was me back then. I was hungry, and
Seeing as many potential
everything
weird
I could
orders
see.
as you can. Yeah. As many different ways to do something as you can.
anything
yeah.
and everything. Because I can tell you this from experience. You can ask 10 different chefs how to make one specific dish, and they're all going to give you
A
10
different-
different
yeah.
reasons.
Right.
Yeah. I always talk about that, like, especially with cooking. Like, when I was doing that menu, I literally I stole this from this guy. I stole this
Yeah.
from this guy.
Yeah.
I saw how this worked, and then like I'm like, all right, I didn't like what he put in that, but I liked it a little bit this way. And it was literally like you just stole from 10 different people and put it together and been like, this is my idea.
I wouldn't necessarily call it stealing.
Well, no, taking.
Borrowing, yeah.
I'd say taking. Yeah.
I mean,
Learning.
it's
whatever.
part of the give and take kind of process.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, the part of it, pay it forward. Teach it. What
sure.
you've learned, teach it.
For you to steal it, they would have had to invent it, and the kind of knowledge you're talking about, nobody.
Well,
really
I don't think
invented, you know what
it's
I mean?
not like I say stealing, but it's not stealing. What it is, it's literally like I learned this from you, and I learned this from you.
And that's the best
and
part about
I'm
being
gonna
a
take
journeyman.
the best parts of that and the best part of this and put it to my.
Get as
like-
much exposure as you
Yeah.
can.
One thing I always say is like, all right, you shouldn't work at a different place every 6 months.
No,
But if you worked at one place for like a really long time, you're kind of like, well, you just know that one way to do it. You know what I mean?
right.
That's like
Keep
what
her moving,
That's
yeah.
like what a bar rescue is all about. It's like he goes in and it's always like some dude and they're like, yeah, we've had the same chef here since 1973, and everyone's like, yeah, the food sucks. And it's like, okay, well, that's why.
Yeah,
those
because
guys been working here for 50
and you
years.
never experience anything else, and you never like
Yeah.
you're not
You don't
exposing
expose
yourself
yourself to
anything.
anything.
Yeah, and so, but that was kind of like when I did my first menu, I literally was just like, I remember how this guy made this, and then I saw this, and then I'll like Google something, and I'll be like, all right, we're just gonna
The scariest
take all
part
three
about
of
it,
them.
if
Yeah.
it wasn't my money, that was the scariest part about it.
Yeah.
Like if it would have failed,
Yeah.
I mean, how fucked would I have been?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was retired. Like this was like what he was going to do for his retirement. He's like, let's do this. I
Yeah,
believe in you guys.
it's not really a good feeling.
It's stressful. But it worked out. You know.
Yeah, the fact that you gave a shit about it from that angle was awesome.
Well, I was
Like,
scared shitless.
because some people would be like, "It's not my money."
Well, I was scared shitless about
sure.
it. Like,
Well,
fuck.
yeah, not good for your mental health, but
No, but
good
it-
on you for being the person that gives a shit about that.
I mean, that's part of the gig, right?
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
But all right. Let's end that right here. End of segment number 1 of this episode of the Four Shots Podcast. We're sitting here with Paulie Cutt. Thanks again, dude, for coming on.
Thank you for having
Especially
me.
on short notice like this, dude. This is fucking gonna be an awesome one. And thanks for bringing the red breast. Shot time for shot number 2.
Holy shit, I'm really lit right now.
Man, I'm glad I ate before I came.
Oh,
That one.
You think they're getting worse?
No, actually, that one went down better.
Really?
Yeah.
That one was rough.
because we haven't had a shot in an hour.
41 minutes, sort of.
Yeah. No, I think
Oh no, we had one in the middle. Remember? We're on shot like number 5 right now.
we did one like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we did.
We did 2 pre-shots, the first shot, a mid shot, and this shot. We're at 5 already.
So we're on pace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for segment number 2 of this episode of the Four Shots Podcast, and we are sitting here at Charlie's Tavern with Mr. Paul Cutt.
Thank you.
Again, Paulie, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Let's go right back to where we were. We were just talking about, I think you were working at the, was it Mother Cluckers?
Mother Cluckers, yeah, in Chicago. That's where we opened up we planted a flag.
Yeah.
Well, so when the opportunity came up when O'Toole's finally opened, I moved back out here. Like, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are good.
You're on the mic.
You guys are good. Like, I'm just gonna go do my thing, right?
Sure.
And the first day I met Corey, we were both at the same bar the night before, but we didn't know it. O'Toole's had a hiring, like an orientation, like a hiring thing over at the City Hall in Libertyville.
I was at that. I was at one of them.
I was walking, I
Yeah.
was coming up one direction, he was coming up the other direction, both wearing Hawk jerseys. This is in 2015, and after a playoff game, and we're both just fucking wrecked. Somehow he knew me. I don't know how. He's like, "You're Paulie." Yeah. You're hired. Go home.
Okay.
And that's how you got hired. Was just
Yeah.
you wore a Hawks jersey.
Well, he knew who I was. I have no idea how he did. I don't. I'm assuming Alex,
Yeah.
Alex and Colton, but Jesus, like we were both just wrecked. Like, I mean, there was that beginning of the Hawks, like their run right
Yeah,
there,
sure.
you know, and
That's a beautiful thing.
it was great. And I mean, it definitely took some balls wearing a Hawks jersey to a workshop that you're trying to get hired at.
Sure.
I mean, I guess it worked out.
Yeah.
So I started working at All Tools, and believe it or not, I was not the first choice by any stretch of the imagination. I was actually, when the Tools first opened, the upstairs was open to the public, and it was a functioning kitchen.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I was. In my mind, I feel like I was exiled up there. You know, like I thought that like I wasn't.
So like the top floor, like
Yeah.
they had that little kitchen. In
Yeah,
there,
well, yeah, and it was
They
a
had, like, a
functioning
little-
kitchen. It was like a food truck.
Yeah, they called it a food truck, but it was like in the upstairs of like where Finn's used to be. Like right when you get up there, it's like a little
Yeah.
kitchen with a little grill, a little flat top, and two fryers.
So
What did you do there?
Well, I mean, it was just late night stuff, but you know,
yeah, we did like sliders
But they
and
just-
tacos.
there
was
was
just-
the bacon dust burger, a bacon jam. Oh man, don't get me started on.
It was
the
a
bacon
totally
dust.
separate menu upstairs. Though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were
At-
just smaller versions.
yeah,
of
at first
it.
it was like condensed.
Were you making stuff that would go downstairs, or was it like
No,
No,
it was its
straight
own
upstairs.
thing. Like so, like if
Yeah.
you went upstairs, you had this little menu to order off.
So
and if
you
you're
could order
downstairs,
the
yep.
same burgers that were on the main menu, but they were just smaller versions of it.
Okay.
But it was that's where my original position was.
Okay.
And I kind of felt I was kind of salty about that, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I mean, because I deserve a spot in the main kitchen,
Right.
you know. And eventually, I worked my way in there, and they put me on the fryer station. It's like, okay, this is where I came up with the term vacation station.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
sat there, and I'm like, okay, what else you got?
Yeah.
You know, they're just getting their asses handed to them. I'm just waiting for them. Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess Corey picked up on that, and so did Ryan and a few other people. But
Yeah.
that's where, like, I guess I felt that I had, like, finally, like here I am. You know,
Yeah.
they finally respect me.
Sure.
You know, and obviously over the years, Corey and I became friends.
Right.
So I mean, Ryan's first job in the kitchen was being my prep cook at Chili U. Ryan Berman.
yeah.
He'll tell you, text him to this day, that his first job in the
What's up,
in the
Berman?
industry-
I'm 4-0 in fantasy right now.
Yeah, fuck. I got destroyed this week.
Oh yeah, you're in the fantasy league. I forgot about that. Sorry.
I lost one of mine by .06.
Man, I lost it the second Chubb went down.
Yeah.
I win every week because I stopped playing fantasy football, and my life is so much better now.
Someone
enjoy it.
throw something at that guy.
Yeah, whatever.
I know. Some people enjoy it.
What do you do on Saturdays and Sundays? Hang
Work.
out with your family?
No,
Loser?
work. um,
Yeah, he makes boards out of wood.
no, well, I cut them. Yeah. They're
Hangs out
already
with
boards. I just
vegetarians.
make them
Come on.
smaller.
You're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, life's great, guys. No, but I know.
Shout out Board and Brush.
Sorry.
Any bachelorette parties, birthday parties, anything like that, hit up Board and Brush in Libertyville at the phone number.
I don't know the phone number, dude.
Hit up boardandbrush.com.
Yeah. And you're going to look for the Libertyville location.
Libertyville location, Board and Brush.
It'll show you all the projects you can order. We make like 75% of those. I'm getting there. There's a cornhole board. Oh, man. People pay for it, but I can't do it yet.
Cornhole. There's a cornhole board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's $250 bucks.
Well, I feel a T-shirt coming on. It's gonna say that.
Yeah.
Cornhole board. I don't know what you're looking.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you're saying. Yeah.
All right, so let me go back. So like, when you were saying you had Berman working for you at another
His first job in a restaurant was being my prep cook.
and then you were like kind of under him going over there.
Yeah.
How was that like relationship? Was it
No, it was. It wasn't. There wasn't any animosity, if that's what.
no
like,
resentfulness
no,
or anything
not at
like
all.
that?
No. If anything, there was a lot of good banter. You know,
Yeah.
back and forth, like, because. I mean, let's be honest. The kid's incredibly talented.
Yeah.
You know. And he absolutely deserved the job. He did. You know, he's to this day still amazing. Even though he doesn't work in he works in the industry. He just doesn't
Yeah,
work
he
in the
just
kitchen
sells
anymore.
food now.
Yeah, I won't say the company he works for, but he definitely he's still involved.
Yeah. Not without a sponsorship. We're not going to say it.
No.
Okay. And you end up you were at O'Toole's for a while, right?
I was at O'Toole's for 8 years. So, I mean, I just kind of came up through the ranks and eventually became a manager and then the sous chef.
Nice. And you said 8 years?
8 years.
Is that that's the longest you ever been in a place? I mean, 8 years for me is. I haven't been at Finn's at 8 years.
Yes, that's the longest tenure I've ever had employed. Yeah, in one company.
Yeah.
You
Which
got
in
me
the
beat by like 2 times. I don't think I've ever been
doubled
anywhere
up
4
on
years.
you.
Man, Junior, shout out to Junior and Sarah, man. They're awesome people to work for. They really are. And there was no animosity when I left. They still support me to this day.
Cool.
And that's
how
pretty
you want
awesome.
it to be. You
Yeah.
know, it's hard to find
Yeah.
that in this industry because, but
No, they're legit, man. They really are.
cool.
All right, so you leave there.
So I left O'Toole's, and I literally just shut down. I shut down. Like I wanted to separate myself, which I did. And about 2 weeks into it, I got bored. I started looking around, and
It's weird going from working
It's just-
70 hours to now you're just at home for
Doing
3 days straight.
It's almost like your ears ring, but it's not your
Man,
ears, right?
I-
It's just
Well, the first 2 days are cool because you sleep, and
man,
then you're like,
my couch hasn't recovered yet.
it's still got your ass.
It's still
printed
got
in
my
it.
ass reprinted in it. Like I can flip the cushions 1,000 times, and it ain't gonna change anything. But I started. I took a job in Antioch, being an executive chef out there, thinking like, you know what, this is gonna be good. This is a good thing for me. I finally get to put my product out there.
yeah.
Like this is my program, and I thought it was everything I wanted, and kind of is. It still is, but I just something about the market itself out there just I couldn't get on board.
Sure.
I'm doing everything I can, and it's like nothing. Like there's
Yeah.
like I can't do anything when we're only doing $1,800 in sales a day. Like
Yeah.
what I can't. What do you expect me to do here? And I felt like stagnant. And when this opportunity came up to move from the public industry to the private industry, I jumped on it. I did. I really did.
Sure.
It's a smart move. Like, I mean, I'm like you can bang in the kitchen and like bang in the basement.
Dude, make no
all day
mistake, I
long,
still
but, like,
bang, man. I do. Like, I mean, the amount of weddings that I push out, it's fucking stupid.
Right.
Like,
And we're like you're at like a country club now, right?
yeah.
And like, dude, that's a good gig. It's a good gig. Like
It doesn't suck.
Yes, you're not like fucking going over every fucking plate with a spoon with the sauce and like doing your little design. But at the same time, like you kind of are. Like,
you know what? And country club members get what they want.
Right.
So that's the difference. Like, like somebody in the service, like somebody. That's not how I don't give a fuck. That's how we serve.
yeah, at a restaurant.
Some of the best
that's
food
not.
I've ever
that's
had
how
in
we
my
serve
entire
it.
life was country clubs.
I was gonna say
Dude,
like in a restaurant you could be like that's not on the menu.
that's not on the menu. That's not how we serve it.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
In a country
They-
club,
that-
they're like
it
no.
doesn't
At
exist.
a country club, it's like this guy's
No.
worth $10 million. And he
It doesn't
paid, like,
exist.
80
Like,
grand
it's
to
a
be here.
different world. Like,
It's probably double
you-
on both of those
you
numbers.
bend over backwards,
Oh,
and it don't care who it is.
Some of the most memorable
Memorable.
wines and meals I've had in my
The
entire
wine
life
there,
have been.
dude. If I wish I were more knowledgeable on wine because I really want to dip into that because the stockpile that they have. Oh my god!
I thought
Our
Chardonnay
small-
couldn't be good, and I had one at a funeral at a country club that, like,
You drink white wine at a funeral?
I did not know Chardonnay could, like, even possibly be that freaking delicious. Like, it was life-changing. It was unbelievable.
Like we have a sommelier there. Like this guy barely speaks English. He's like straight French.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to even understand when he tries to. Talk.
You know what they say, like how you get good at like wine and stuff like that is you just have to drink a shit ton.
Well,
of it.
I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, I'm sure. But I wish I knew.
Nope, that's
knew
it.
more
He's got to
than
be a
that.
drunk.
That's a big part of it.
He's
too.
got to be a drunk.
Yeah,
But a classy
if
drunk.
you want to get in, talk to him as much as you can.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You know? I
perfect.
mean, that's. I mean, I'm taking this industry at a different vantage point.
Sure.
You know?
You're never gonna probably know what he knows because
Never.
he spends all of his work life on that.
But
and
I'm
you
going to
spend
be
all
a
your
fly
work-
on the wall.
Yeah, and just soak in whatever you can. And that's the best thing about this industry. You can learn. You know, I've always worked front of house.
Dude, I've made a
but I've
career
learned
out of
so
it.
much about food. I've learned about wine, which that's not my specialty. You know, but I've learned all sorts of things just by being there when two other knowledgeable people are having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm a world-class eavesdropper.
Yeah.
You know,
If
Some-
you- if you-
sometimes I'll include myself in the
Dude,
conversation.
if you
I
can pick up
but-
10% of those conversations and listen to 1,000
Yeah.
over your lifetime, like,
it's something.
you're going to be
Yeah,
a smart
it's
person.
something, yeah.
But
I mean, I've made a career out of
do
being
you
a fly on the
do you
wall.
like like? I mean, I understand like you're so, like so you guys have a restaurant and you do banquets.
Yeah,
at the country
we still
club,
have a
right?
full service restaurant there.
Right.
yes.
So you probably get like that dinner rush still, but do you
A
like
little bit.
Do you miss that like? You know, like
Yes
that,
and no.
that super busy Friday where
Oh,
you get that
man.
like 6:30, 7 o'clock rush, and you're like, holy fuck! And then all of a sudden, like at 8 o'clock, you kind of die down and you catch your breath. You go smoke a cigarette and you come back in, and it's like that 8:30 to 10 o'clock, just fucking ass pounding, like to make the
mean-
day even like twice as long. Like, do you miss
Some-
that? Like,
I don't know.
the days you're burning yourselves, cutting yourself, like.
I wouldn't say I miss it. Maybe I'm like, where is it? Like I'm looking for it. You know, like when's it happening? I'm
Yeah.
ready for it. Like let's
Yeah.
go. When it doesn't happen, like because it's a country club, it's not
Right.
going to.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount it's just not.
But you still-
It's kind of the point.
Right.
But do you still feel
It's
geared
never
up?
too busy
Yeah,
because
I
we
do.
paid for it.
Absolutely.
To never be too
And
busy.
do you think you'll ever not be geared up for that, even though you know
No,
it's not?
I
yeah.
don't.
It's just part of
That's just
part
how
of the
I'm wired,
territory,
man.
right? Yeah, yeah.
That's just how I'm wired. It's
and-
what I've been. It's what's been instilled in me. That's what I know.
Right.
And if you're not prepared, especially in the kitchen, then you're set up for failure.
Sure.
Yeah. Have you ever had that day? Like
Yes.
the crash and burn day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Tell us about it. Like, what was it? Give us like what type of
Well, tools.
Okay.
Thankfully, it wasn't on St. Patrick's Day. Thankfully, but I believe it was a Mother's Day. It was right
Ooh,
after.
those
Yeah.
could be the worst.
It
Mother's
was.
Day's tough.
Was it a brunch?
Yes.
Deal? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Karen's Day.
Like set menu.
It was it was right after Corey left.
Okay.
It was my first go at it, you know.
Yeah.
And like, okay, here we go. Like, I'm not.
Were you
is
at
that-
a set menu like where it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
these
And
10 things or whatever?
It's five,
5. Yeah.
and just crash and burn, man. Like it could not have been any worse. It was terrible.
Yeah. You
Like,
guys ever
I-
been through anything like that? I don't know if any like
The hollandaise sauce, like it was broke from the beginning.
yeah.
Like everything that I did was wrong. Everything. I couldn't do anything right that day.
I've never been there back of house, obviously, but I have been front of house when, like,
Man.
I've been on both sides where back of house is killing it on a crazy day like that, and front
Yeah.
of house just can't get it together. And then I've been there where back of house is like struggling, and we're trying to pace out tables, and you've got a new host who's just seating people, and you're like, make them wait an extra 2 minutes, and that sounds stupid, but it might mean everything.
Yeah.
No, it absolutely does mean everything.
Just stall.
And they don't get
Just
it.
Stall.
They don't understand what that means.
Because they don't want
Dude,
them in their window.
well,
I've
honestly-
never worked in a
no,
kitchen
honestly,
that
the host
serves
is a
anything
fucking
as
15-year-old
fancy
high
as
school
Hollandaise.
kid.
Right.
It's just like
But you just-
I don't want
That's-
this person to yell at me.
I don't want them standing here.
Never had a Benedict?
No, we had something called matador meat that was made out of chopped green peppers and jalapenos with ketchup and ground beef.
I mean, it sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
And it went
I'd
on
eat
the
it.
nachos.
I'd fucking eat it.
It went on the nachos.
Sounds like a Philly cheesesteak.
It was pretty bad.
I mean, when there's enough jalapenos, you want to notice the ketchup, right?
But anyway, let's go back to that. Like I try to explain that because I've had one night like that was just absolutely brutal like that where it was like from the beginning to the end, kind of underestimated the situation, set up to fail, and this is the back of the house like style, and it was. I can't explain to people how bad you feel.
Dude,
It's like you're literally crushing, and like
Like your
you're-
soul's crushed.
you want to like cry, like in
Like
front of
you
people.
feel like
wanna
you feel
just
like you're
start
this
crying.
tall, like tiny.
Yeah,
You feel
you
like
feel
nothing.
the heat, like the
Like
when
every
you talk
emotion
about-
that you possibly could go through, you go through, and like you feel like a piece of
that
shit.
that like instant where you just like you can feel you can
Yeah, and
actually feel the
it happens,
sweat,
and it is
like
like
where it
that
just like
fast.
starts coming, and you're like, oh my
and
god,
and you know you're fucked.
and you're literally looking back like, I should have listened to my 7th grade fucking science teacher. I was really good at science. Like I should have gone to like school. You know, like what the fuck am I doing
Start
back?
rethinking every
You-
decision
dude,
you've
like and
made.
going back and then at the same time, someone's yelling at like you're just not even listening to them. They're just screaming at you like, where the fuck is this? Why the fuck? You know.
But there's a silver lining to that.
Oh man.
Because now I am listening to my 7th grade fucking biology teacher, and I am whipping potatoes like a virgin's first piece of pussy.
I do. So in Kitchen Confidential, Bourdain talks about that. Like he's like every chef has that one day.
Yeah.
And it was like for me it was the best. Like it was when I was doing
Sometimes more than one.
Yeah.
It happens.
So mine.
The question
was,
is, are you going to get back up?
mine was like
Right.
the best day we had at that restaurant. Like it was a crash and burn. And they're like you like we crushed it. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm like pizzas were taking like an hour, like and a half. Like we were fucking like a gyro was 40 minutes. You know, like it was like fucking like crazy shit like that. And like they're like, no, like you tripled our best day ever in like sales. And I'm just like sitting there like literally like,
It's always about the bottom line.
dude, I'm literally like just like you know you get that
Everything else matters not.
You know that greasy sweat, like when you can like
Oh.
coming down from the brim, or you
I'm
can
aware.
taste the fryer. Like
When
the,
I
like-
had hair, yes, I know.
Oh man, dude, it's such you can't describe that feeling to anybody that's not been in the industry.
It
It's just
feels-
like pure pain.
How
you
about-
feel like you're nothing.
Yeah,
How about that tightness?
it's almost
in-
like you're
in
outside your
legs?
body.
From having
Yeah,
to take
like it's
tiny
like
steps.
how did I let that happen?
You know what I'm saying? When it's the floor is so greasy, if you take a real step, you're gonna fall and eat shit. So you're taking little tiny fucking penguin steps everywhere, and your fucking ass and legs are on fire because you're just like trying to run all over this greasy kitchen.
That's a
with
real
these
thing.
Little tiny steps.
That's actually a real thing.
yeah, totally. You're like doing this little.
No, that's a
shuffle
real thing.
because you'll fall and die if you take
Well, you
a whole
like
full size step.
if you don't, even if you have like non-slip shoes on, your feet will come out from
Oh,
underneath
totally.
you.
There's
like
no
that.
such thing
And
as
you're done.
grease-proof shoes.
You're done. Like your head hits the ground or something, or the cold line or something like that on the way, dude. Like you may not wake up.
Right, I'm about to die because I'm coming back here because some old lady said she wanted curly fries, even though she ordered regular fries. But I'm coming back here with the tip 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 tip. You know,
Yeah.
get yelled at for that. Tip 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 tip.
I used to struggle with my staff at Tools with that. Like, dude, put the fucking mats down.
Yeah.
What? We don't need them.
Yeah, you do. You're gonna
Yeah,
die.
you fucking do.
Every floor in every restaurant is slightly pitched. Right?
Take
if you're
the
not taking normal
take the
steps,
2.5
even if you
minutes to
are
fucking
taking
throw 'em
normal
down
I
and
steps,
take
don't
'em
care
out.
if it's
There's an
inconvenient.
angle, there's an
I
angle.
don't care if you don't like walking on them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
All right. Well, that brings us up to basically present day.
Yeah,
You're
pretty
sitting
much.
here with us. So you gave us a list of some stuff to talk about, which
Oh,
we
boy.
always appreciate. We always love, and it kind of reminded me of a few things like that I've been meaning. To
I think
bring
I
up
put
here.
"go fuck yourself" on one of them. Didn't
Yeah.
I?
Let's talk about that one first.
It's my birthday.
Oh, you walk
Speaking of
into a
which,
bar.
we just
my
had a
birthday.
birthday. This,
So did
this
I,
gentleman.
actually.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When was your
unfortunately.
birthday?
September 17th.
Oh, well, happy belated.
Watch a candle.
Dude. September 17th is one of
thought you
my
were gonna
top
pull out your
3
penis
most
and say that.
popular Facebook
Blow out your
birthdays.
candle.
On
That's a
that
good
day,
one. I
I had like
remember that.
15 Facebook friends with that birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little birthday.
That was my
shot.
grandpa's birthday.
You guys,
What, September?
September 17th, 1917,
I
which
mean,
is
if nothing-
9171917.
If nothing screams New Year's baby, I don't know what does.
Right. My brother's
I'm
September
September
13th.
I'm September 30th.
All right. Yeah. So you just had like what 2 days
A
ago?
little bit
Yeah.
more, a little bit more time to incubate.
Well, I was late too.
Yeah. I was like a week late.
Oh, my mom. No, I was a terrible baby. 10 pounds 3 ounces.
I was 11, 13. And
Oof,
they thought I was just
my
gonna stay in there.
goodness.
Yeah. They had to rip
Christ.
that poor lady open.
Yeah, they had to rip my mom. My mom's no bigger than I am.
Yeah.
Well, she was.
Yeah.
This is like a warm up.
Finish that fucking shit off, man. What are you doing, pussyfooting
All right,
around
fuck
it?
it, dude. We're not even.
You opened up
Someone's gotta go
Pandora's
get a new
box,
bottle of
man.
J-Mo.
Really little.
'Cause now we
She's
don't
like
have-
5
You
pounds.
already opened up
You got
Pandora's box. You
J-Mo.
might as well. You might as well. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Why don't we have any goddamn booze?
Does that fill it up?
Oh, jeez. Okay. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it was
we're
just
out now.
It was just the enthusiasm.
It'll roll that way.
I actually spilled like 2 minutes ago. The other way.
Oh, you spilled up?
I went
I
to look
spilled
up
up
to
this
talk to you
time.
to say something, and I realized I was pouring it on the table. Oh, shit. Bubbles. Hey, Whistler. When you were a kid, did you ever blow bubbles?
I'm gonna take that
I
as
knew the
yes.
same clown as you did.
Oh, shit.
Shakes the clown.
Okay.
All right, I'm reading it right now.
Great
Oh,
book.
jeez.
Yes and no.
That's
Yeah.
funny, though, because you
Got
like
150 pages left.
Yeah.
the go fuck yourself like it's my birthday. Cheers to you guys. Happy birthdays.
Cheers.
We're not gonna say
Patrick just turned 22.
22.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Jesus. My
He's got
goodness.
that fucking Brad Pitt disease from that movie.
Then I won't tell you how old I am.
No, I turned 38.
I'm still not going to tell you how old I am.
Well, we can do the
41?
math. You said you were in the
No,
business for
higher.
30 years, and you started
43?
in high school with
Higher.
Bell's Chicken. I'm gonna guess 50.
Higher.
47,
Higher.
49,
Higher.
Wow.
50.
Yes.
Oh, cool, man! Happy birthday. That's
you.
a big one. That's a milestone.
Been on
You
this
really
planet-
took the long way to get there.
Been on,
I'm not gonna go up too much, and then he's like, "Whoa! I'm 44.
No.
Why'd you go to 50 right away?"
yeah.
Yeah, he's like 42. He's like, no, he's like, oh,
Been on this
68.
co-
You know,
this
like, what
planet
the
for
fuck?
half a
42, 3
century
months
now.
and 2 weeks.
That was
Jeez,
solid.
Wow.
You really meant that.
Yeah. That had some desire behind
There
it.
was yeah, sorry if that smells terrible.
Like, no.
Smells
I
like
had a
opportunity and
huarache.
bad decisions.
All right. I actually wanted to go.
I would
To the
take
other
an
thing.
El Pastor burp to the
We've
face,
talked about
though.
this sometimes. On
I love El Pastor. El Pastor kicks ass. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, as long as you don't
Trying to keep this on track.
burp.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I'll take a shawarma burp too. I mean,
They're
whatever.
not terrible.
I'm like, oh, dude, where'd you go?
How do you feel about like a yellow curry bird?
Okay, I draw the line at curry. Man.
I love all sorts of ethnic food. That's my
Burp-
goal.
burped into
whenever I
your
go-
Burps. We're not talking about food. We're talking about burps.
That's how you
Yeah.
got that weird For You page on Instagram.
Curry burp. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's our new fucking.
like-
that's gonna
it's
be
like bad.
our OnlyFans channel. Will just be us burping in people's faces.
People pay top dollar for that kind
Oh
of shit.
my god.
I guarantee you there's a
Chipotle burp.
Japanese game show where they burp in your face and then you guess what they ate.
Why is there nothing? I know it's. I know
Dude,
I
I
saw
Did
that.
you?
That was. Oh man. That
His whole
episode's so
body's
good.
shaking. He's like,
Dude, that's one of the greatest South Park.
I
episodes
guarantee you,
of all
like,
time.
I was
It
gonna
was all
say,
because he didn't read the Apple.
Yeah,
90
because you didn't read it. Because you didn't read it. What do you mean you
90% of
didn't
the
read
people
it?
listening to this are not gonna know what that's from.
I don't know, man. I think we attract a very adult South Park viewer crowd,
There we go. All
and
right.
I'm okay with that because I am too. I haven't watched any
Oh,
of the new.
dude, I'm the
episodes.
biggest fan of South Park. I went on vacation to go see Book of Mormon on Broadway in New York.
I definitely applied to get tickets to the
I wanted to see it so
anniversary thing in Colorado. What was it last year or the year before already?
Last year.
They're gonna be in Chicago. in
No,
like
at
a
Red
month.
Rock. The
Yeah,
thing,
the
yeah,
Red Rock,
yeah.
the anniversary thing at Red Rock.
Dude,
so
that
they
was
expanded it to
super
2
cool.
days. What the fuck? Did you know that they bought Casa Bonita
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they spent, listen to this, this is a real fucking number, $40 million renovating Casa Bonita. Have you ever been to Casa Bonita?
In
I've never
Libertyville.
been in it. Right. I've never been in
Bonita,
it, but I went
sweet.
to a brewery that was right next door, and they had already started renovating it. It was all like, you know,
Went to the brewery right next door.
yeah. And it, I mean, I'm fucking stoked. I'm excited.
They already had an issue because they.
Hey.
Yeah, the front of house they were gonna they wanted to do a no tipping model and pay everybody X amount of money, and then a lot of the servers were like,
Fuck
"That's a
that.
normal amount of money for some people, but we're not fucking doing that."
No, that's how they make their nut.
And especially when you just spent $40.
It's not
million
just
on
that, but
it.
if you
I
worked
get that
at
they
a
were trying to do
restaurant,
something nice, maybe by offering more.
I don't know.
hourly,
They're trying to
but
do that shit in Chicago right now, and it's bullshit.
not gonna
Well,
work, man.
it's
if you worked at a restaurant where they paid you the same for every shift, why would you work Friday and Saturday? Are you
Exactly.
fucking
I want to work.
stupid?
I want to
No.
work
I
Monday.
wanna work
wanna
the slowest
Monday,
days.
Tuesday,
Or if you're a patron going into a place that someone knows I'm only making X amount of dollars, Do you think your fucking Coca-Cola is gonna be filled the whole fucking night?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like why?
Very.
Like why?
And we're also talking
I
to a
mean,
line
the,
coach
argu-
right now
the
who's like,
argument
he
you're
makes the
saying
same
is the
amount of
best
money.
one.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
beforehand
say
against.
honestly, yeah. He's like, I gotta make it.
No,
I
it's a
gotta make
valid argument.
Yeah.
It's
But
the
all right,
best.
but like the night you're working and making 100 burgers compared to the night you're working and making 20.
I'd rather prep and work for 250, 700 covers a day than 50. It's the same amount of work.
Yeah.
No matter whether it's 700 or 50, it's the same thing because I still have to go through all the motions
Like
for
tipping
every
is
piece,
kind of a
every piece
commission-based
that goes
model,
into
like
that.
The more you ring up, the more tips you're
I
going to
mean,
get.
you
It's
can't
kind of
predict
a
sales, but the
commission.
line still has to be
Who's
ready
gonna
to go.
work at a car
Yeah.
dealership where like you sell all the cars, but everyone else makes the same amount of money? You know what I'm saying?
And
You
if
gotta
I
look
just
at it
I just
like-
know like working in the front of the house.
can't-
Anytime there's a tip pool, you're gonna have the person
Oh, no,
who's
no,
doing
no,
70% of the work, and the 3 people who are just standing there looking at their phone.
Which is why the back of house does not get tips.
No, tip
Yeah.
pool does just not work. Restaurants make all their money on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and tip pooling in some way that like distributes that.
They
amongst
make their
people who work
money
other days
pretty
is,
much
like
between
Fuck
now
that. Fuck
and
that.
December
No.
31st.
Yeah.
Like that's where their nut is.
Yeah.
Like
It's that fourth quarter of the.
yes, that's where everything happens, and it's all bang, 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 and you're done. Well, I wish it were that easy, but it's simply not that easy.
Right.
There's so much shit that goes into it, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the thing I was trying to bring up 25 minutes ago.
Sorry, man.
There you go. The new hire pranks. Have we talked about this?
Oh
No,
my
I
goodness!
Yeah.
You never hazed anybody?
no.
Oh my goodness.
I was anti-hate.
Okay, no, it's
That's
one of the
why-
greatest
anyway.
things ever.
That's why I quit
Shut up,
fraternity
dork.
shit. That's why I quit fraternity.
This is like
shit.
light hazing, not like take your pants off.
No.
No,
This
their hazing wasn't that bad.
No one's
They would
butthole
wear
got
tube
penetrated during
socks.
these
They would
hazings.
wear tube socks all week, and then you had to wear their tube socks like a bandana, and then they'd like yell at you.
I've
What is
seen
this
some of the
for?
best I've ever.
The
Some of the best
fraternity
I've ever
shit.
seen.
You have to. They'd wear stinky tube socks all week, and then you'd have to tie them around your eyes like a blindfold, and then they'd yell at you. And then after one day, I was like, "This is fucking stupid." I have
Yeah, your
you
fraternity was
I
run
have
by
friend-
guys that were homeschooled.
Did you get
Uh,
paddled?
usually way I was like, I have regular friends. Just regular friends. I don't actually
I don't know.
need
The
to
one-
join a
John doesn't
fraternity.
make me smell his socks.
One
Yeah,
that I
I
heard from my
just-
buddy was like,
Gonna move in with my
they
friends.
were gonna go see the sorority that they were like partnered with, and they were like, "Hey, nobody wear any underwear because they're gonna give you guys wedgies. That's part of this." And so, but that wasn't the thing. It was. That
You don't
they
think
just-
it can happen
they
with
pulled
jeans?
down their pants, and it was just like bare dick and balls, and it was like, "Ha ha,
Yeah,
ha
'cause
your dick and
everyone
balls are
know,
out. You're a
yeah.
freshman in college."
Yeah,
and my buddy was
right.
like, "All right." Like whatever. They're all kind of like, well, they've all seen it now, so all right. Like woohoo, could have been a lot worse, right?
Oh jeez, man.
Just put that shit out there.
I don't know. I always like to fuck with like the new people. a
Oh,
little bit.
dude, I've got some.
Turning
Dude.
the ice?
No,
turning the
no,
ice.
no. Going next door for a pot of steam.
What's turning
Yep.
nice?
Okay,
Emptying
Corey.
the-
Ice on
Corey
top,
had the
ice
best one of all
maker.
time.
Emptying the hot water out of the coffee.
You have to
That's a
shake it
classic.
down, and it'll ice over
Um,
once it's
the
back
creme
down.
refresher.
What you have to do is you have to churn it basically with this scoop that we use. And I'll come back in like 10 minutes and make sure you did a good job.
He's just having
It's
So
like
this
somebody's
is
just-
fake, right?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Give me a left-handed
But you do
saute
have to
pan.
turn
Yeah.
stuff like that.
We used to do in Colorado was the keg wrench, and that meant that you like got hired, and like it was kind of just a known thing with the bars downtown. So like I'd be like, hey man, like you know, it's like a new bar back. I'd be like, go down to like the other bar and give me the keg wrench. Like they have it, and like you go down there, and they're like, no, like actually we lend it to these guys, but here like here's a shot for coming down here, and we're just supposed to try to make you go to as many bars and do as many shots. And like finally one time, like a dude showed up. It was one of the funniest things I've seen because like everyone would just show up and be like, I don't know, man. I don't know where the keg wrench is, you know? Like, and this one kid came back storming in hot, and he's like, I figured it out after 2 bars. You were just trying to get me drunk, so I'm fucking hammered. And I'm like, yes. Like,
Yeah.
Or
Well played.
hey, can you grab me the Henway?
what's a Henway?
About 6 pounds.
Oh,
Stupid, right?
that was stupid.
The best I've ever seen. Shout out Corey. busy as fuck, right? Super busy. And this is the beginning of O'Toole's. He got our fry cook to go downstairs, take a chef knife, cutting board, and chop flour. Like chop flour. And when we first started at O'Toole's, everybody wore black, like straight black, like black jacket, black
came out
pants,
looking like Tony
black
Montana.
apron,
Just like,
and it's fucking everywhere, and she's going to fucking town, and I shit you not, she's going like this, and she's like, "Is this good?" I'm like, "No, I need a 00." And she like looked at him like, "I don't know what that means." Like, keep going. Bam, 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 bam. And he's just going at it, and there's flowers just fucking everywhere. And then he stops, and we were balls busy upstairs. He takes everybody out of the kitchen. He goes, "Come with me." And he goes downstairs, and he goes, "Look." And we didn't know, at first we didn't know what the fuck we were looking at. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? She's literally taking a chef knife with the cutting board on our prep table, and she's chopping fucking flour. Like piles of it. Like Tony Montana. Like just going. No, that's not 00.
Do you
I
think
need
at
a
a certain
00.
point she was like, okay, I have a method now. This will be way faster.
God, I hope so. God, I
Like,
hope so.
watch
That's
me
kind
make
of
It's the
a
best
movie.
thing I've ever seen because he actually
I feel
he
bad
took
for her.
he
It's
took
like,
everybody out of the
It's like
kitchen
10 years later, and,
and
I
we
never
all
met her,
peeked
and I'm
around
like,
the corner and like,
that's mean.
watch this.
oh, man.
See,
Like
That's what I'm talking
the,
about.
the
That's
most
why I
epic
don't
one
do
I've
this
ever
shit.
seen. I mean,
Like, oh, what
absolutely
is she doing,
genius.
man?
Like, because we were busy and like she comes like running into the kitchen. Is like, "I need you to go downstairs, chop flour." And say, "Okay, chef." And she just goes.
Did you give him a shot at least at the end of it?
Probably.
Okay, I hope so.
I mean, we used to go to Downing's every goddamn night.
Here's a
after that.
glass of cooking wine.
No, I had a guy that actually on his last day decided to pour himself a gallon of cooking wine out on his last day.
I was gonna. You ever like I had to fire 2 people.
I kicked his ass out.
I had to fire 2 people.
Well, they
before.
salt it, so it's not supposed to be good to drink.
No, but this,
It's like
It's
Franzia,
tasty.
dude.
Tasty.
Like we had
Oh.
Franzia.
it's super. It's boxed wine.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
I've had 2 people like where I was the one who had to fire them because I'm like, I literally the first one they were like, we got him on video like drinking the box wine, and I'm like,
Oh, I actually
like
walked
bro,
into
like
this guy.
I'm like, bro, like I would have gotten you a shot. Like,
I
I
would've-
would have walked up front and been
I would
like,
have gladly
we're
given
doing
this
2
guy a
shots of
cocktail.
Yeah, like
I'm like, but you drank half a box of Franzia in like a fucking high school like 15-year-old. Yeah.
As he's cleaning the fucking flat top. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Oh,
Get the fuck
man.
out of here. Like, I know it's your last day. I probably would have taken you out to drinking too.
Yeah, like we would have gone at it.
Yeah.
Like wait another 30 minutes, bro.
Man.
Oh shit. All right. We're gonna have to kill. How long do you think it takes Jay to piss?
oh,
Jay, how long you peeing for? He
This
said
is
10
Cutt.
seconds.
whatever.
All right, let's go to the next thing we were talking about. I don't know if we brought this up either. This might be a takeout thing, but what is like the coolest way you can describe your job without saying what you do?
Oh, shit.
Like we had. This is actually Jay's topic. Son of a bitch peeing, but he had a dishwasher that said he was an underwater plastic aquatic washer or something like. What was it?
Pretty
It's like-
descriptive.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like an underwater. Jay,
No, that's way faster than I can pee.
Yeah, that was
by the
pretty
way.
we were talking
man
about
on
the
a
next
mission.
topic was the different names we have for ourselves. Like if you're a bartender, you call yourself a coctologist instead of a mixologist.
Cocktail.
What was the one you said? Like it was like the dishwasher said.
An underwater ceramics technician.
An underwater
That's
ceramics.
genius. That's fucking genius.
That is good.
It's great.
We are gonna need another bottle for this next.
It didn't get
I
him
guess I should
another
have
job.
brought 2.
But
All right, we need another bottle of something. Both these are.
If I would have known, I would have brought 2.
I got the big bottle in the car.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Ouch.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh,
No,
he
actually,
zigzagged his fingers,
you
didn't
I was gonna say you should not be like
It's like
just
one
fucking
of
with
the
me.
ooh,
Do not
boy.
snap at people in the bar.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Don't ever do that. To those listening, don't ever snip your fingers.
Jay, I
Ever.
actually
Also-
sincerely apologize for even
also-
doing that. I meant it more like, you know what I'm talking about, rather than
yeah,
like, hey, go do this.
We know what you meant.
So
Yeah.
I took it.
You know what else you shouldn't do is like go to the bar
Wave money.
and ask the bartender her name, and then say her name out loud every time you want something for the rest of the day.
Or his name.
Oh, it's like, oh, what's your name, dear? Oh, it's Amy. And you're
Sweetie.
Like, oh, Amy, can I get another High Life? It's like, you should be in jail, dude. You're a stalker.
We skipped a
Fuck
lot of the
you.
middle ground there. But
No. I feel
Now
like
everybody
you
knows her
shouldn't-
name.
If you
That
ask their
piece of shit
name,
should've been in
if you
jail.
ask their name, you're already being a little aggressive. Because you're gonna weaponize knowing their
Hey,
name.
being aggressive.
You're going to.
That's how you close, man.
Yeah, that's how you go.
spoken like a lion cook extraordinaire, man.
It's like
Close.
what's that?
That's so funny because that's just what I was getting at.
What's that fucking like?
Be
Always
closing.
be creeping.
Always.
Always be creeping.
When like those people
Well-
are like doing that to the bartenders, it's like you're always be creeping.
Yeah, if some dude who's like 60 walks in and just sits down and is like, "Oh, what's your name, sweetie?" I'm just like,
Okay, that's a
like-
normal day in my life, dude.
There's
Working
a
in
red
a country
flag.
club, that happens
I'm like, oh,
Dude,
she's
creepy.
uncomfortable
every
already.
You know what really creeps
fucking
me out
day.
is like I get people in here
And
who
it's
are like,
normal.
What's your name? Like, what do you and then they kind of do the same thing to me when I'm bartending. I'm like, well, what do you want from me? Because it can't be sexual. Like I know people are stealing.
Because if you're
Yeah, this
interested, I
guy's
got
gonna-
rates.
This
you
guy's
think
gonna
you could just
steal
cook me
like
down and you know, what am I gonna?
he's
What's
gonna
this
steal
about?
a Discover card offer out of your fucking mail and sign up for a card in your name.
Maybe
That
that makes more sense.
It'll help your credit rating.
No, like I said, it's a completely different thing, but it has happened.
Or they're
And
waiting
I'm
for
like,
the revolution to come, and you're gonna be there fucking feeding.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my god! All right,
My livestock.
maybe we will
Livestock,
just
oh, Jesus Christ,
end
I'm gonna go
there.
back to college.
All right, segment 2.
And it's-
Wrapping it
yeah.
up.
Segment
Let's wrap it
2.
up. End of segment 2 of this episode of the Four Shots Podcast. Sitting here at Charlie's Tavern in Grays Lake, Illinois, with Paul Cutt. Paul, again, thank you for coming
Thank
out.
you for having me, guys.
And we ran out of Redbreast, so now we're on to Jameson again.
Good thing we stayed on topic, though.
I think I'm livestock.
Actually, why is that so much easier than Redbreast?
Well, because it's shot number 6.
No, that's fair.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for segment 3 of this episode of the Four Shots Podcast. We are still sitting here in Charlie's Tavern in Grays Lake, Illinois, with Mr. Paul Cutt.
Hey.
Again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Let's go right into it. This is time for the 1,
2,
3.
4
questions.
questions part of this podcast.
Dun, dun,
Mr. Paul Cutt, these are the 4 questions we ask everybody. Number 1, what do you do on your day off?
Dude, I'm a simple man. I'm doing yard work.
Okay.
I really am.
Oh, yeah.
I-
Yard work.
I am. I straight up doing yard work. I'm walking my dog. I'm trying to do things that I never have time to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's spend time with my house. You know,
Just catching up on life.
man. I mean, even when I'm working, I'm walking my dog. Like I don't feel like I'm there. Like when I'm off, I can take him for an actual walk, and we can interact with other people. You know.
Yeah. There's a difference between like cause when I had my pup, it was like the pre-work. Like you can even do it for a half hour. Like take him for a
It
half
wouldn't
hour walk,
matter.
and it didn't matter. But like the after work one, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm done.
You can actually like separate yourself.
Yeah.
You know. And that's, man. I'm honestly like a DIY guy, and I never finish anything. Like I have like
You have like ADD, like
So
every,
you're a DIY
everyone
guy.
in
That's
this,
a lot. Yeah, that's a
everyone
lot.
yeah,
in
but I
this
don't finish
industry.
my projects,
Got 10 projects, none
and
of
they're
them done.
none of them are finished.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can't be like, this is a great idea. I'm going to do it, and I do it. And it's like, oh, this is great, but I don't finish it, and I just leave it there. Like I keep like, oh, I could have been great. I could have finished that. I'm just going to pay somebody to do it.
Started out as a garden. No, it's just a
Dude,
puddle.
I'm obsessed with my backyard too. I'm obsessed with my backyard. I try to do everything I can to make this thing pristine, and it fights me every step of the way.
Well, like, are you enjoying the difference too from like being in the restaurant to now you're at a country club where it's like you got that more of that actual set schedule. You know, you're not having to come in early. You're not having to stay late. You know, like it's just like I'm here from noon to 8 or whatever, and
You know what? It changes, man. I mean, even my schedule, I could be scheduled from 6 to 6, and I would be there from 5 to 2. It doesn't matter.
Slide it back.
It all depends on what's actually happening. And best part about it is that it's at my discretion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the freedom that I have, and it's a curse and a blessing at the same time.
Yeah. When you get that control of your hours.
I don't I mean I get scheduled and just when there's events, and I know what I have to do.
Right.
But I don't work a set schedule. I don't.
Yeah.
When I'm done, I go.
Do you still have those like at a restaurant, like, you know, you're probably there till what, midnight, something like that on a Friday night?
I was
like
there till like maybe 9 o'clock, and then I would start drinking.
at a restaurant?
Yeah. I don't have that option now. Now when I'm done working, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't fit in with that crowd.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I never really thought about
It's
that.
a clip on.
No, man. Like I
clip-on.
like.
Would you are you allowed to sit at the bar and have a drink after shift?
Yes.
But you just
Shut
you
up.
just
They
choose
actually
not
let
to?
you like
Yeah.
But you
I'm
choose
allowed
not
to. Yeah.
Because you're like, what would we even fucking talk
What
about?
what do I have in common with this person? Seriously, what do I have in common with
Sure.
them? Like, I can't talk about like maybe sports. What?
Right.
Like politics. We're certainly going to disagree.
You definitely can't compare yachts.
Wait, you don't want to talk about horseback riding?
Or their
I mean-
glory days of
I mean-
playing polo.
It
I was
would
gonna say, it's like my daughter, she's got a competition tomorrow, and he's like, can I bet on that?
and you know what?
Oh, dude, yeah.
And if I could listen to
like,
it, I would. But
yeah.
like it, I can't
Expensive
listen to that
shit.
and
Right.
just be kind of in myself, you know.
So do you think that presents a different dynamic than like places you worked before where
Absolutely.
you got off shift and you sat at the bar and you had a drink and you felt like part of
Well,
it?
not only that, but I would even like go around the town, you know, and like
Sure.
that was shit. That's kind of what we do, you right?
Yeah.
I always just tell people, like, I'm not going out. I'm networking.
No, I'm just going around town and I'm gonna make my rounds and I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And that was just part of getting off of work, you
Yeah.
know.
Right. It's normal.
This is a different life, man.
Yeah.
Well, especially coming down from that high of, like, working like a rush.
so
like,
weird, man.
Like, you can't. People are always like, oh, like, you get off work at, like, 2, so what, do you fall asleep at 3? I'm like, are you?
No,
No, you have to decompress.
No.
It takes time.
Even when I can leave work at like 5 o'clock, right? I can't decompress until maybe 10.
Yeah.
But that's what, like, normal people do.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so-called normal people. Like,
But
you
there's
know,
also
that
days
is,
where-
they get off at work. They get off work at 5, and then at 10 o'clock they're fucking half-hammed.
Yeah.
And they go to bed. And wake
If you
up
can
at 7.
decompress in rush hour traffic, good for you, but I'm sure you can't.
You know what?
Um,
In hindsight, I look back at it. I'm like, thank God I can't drink there, because if I did, man, there would have been days where it would have been a little sketchy
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, because it's a country club. Fucking A, man. Why wouldn't I take advantage of that?
Right.
It's a good stuff.
All right. Let's go on to question number 2. Give me the thing you love the most about this industry and the thing you hate the most. So love most, love least, hate most, hate least.
What do I love? There's a lot of things I love about this industry. A lot of things. The camaraderie. When things fall into place, the way that everything was planned to happen, it's a beautiful fucking thing. It's like you watching a conductor orchestrating an orchestra. You know,
machinery or something.
it's
like
something.
somewhere between there,
It's something
where there's
about
art and
everything moving in unison.
clock ballet. Like
something about it that's absolutely beautiful, and when it works, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
When there's chaos everywhere around you and you're in your zone, you know, that sounds like a dog.
It is.
Oh, that's just Sierra. What up, dude?
Oh, that's a pity.
This is a
Nice.
dog.
All right. So, what's the thing you hate the most about the industry?
When that doesn't happen.
That's kind of a hard question to answer, without being extremely specific. You know, because there's one thing that can piss you off one night that isn't going to piss you off the next night.
Yeah.
However, if I had to generalize that, it's the hypocrisy. Like,
What do you mean by hypocrisy?
the people that were supposed to be brought in to be these, they know more than you do. This is where we're going, and they turn out to be cancer.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
Like, are you talking about like someone coming in above you on,
Yes.
on a level?
Yeah, say somebody comes in above you, and
Yeah.
like like, great, you're exactly what we need for this team, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, the more you learn about this person, you start to feel like this was a cancer. This was a terrible idea.
Right.
And you never know what's going to happen, you know? Like, people come and go in this industry.
Right.
It's number
So
one turnover
quickly.
for the industry.
And you never know. Like, all you know is the what precedes them, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And in a way, it was kind of that was kind of a way of my exit of the full service industry.
what's from that?
Yeah, from that experience.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been brought into a situation where you were like brought in to be trained by the person you were replacing ever?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
have
that.
not.
I don't know how much that happens in like in the real
Dude,
world.
back
but,
of house, like, it happens all the time, and you just don't know it.
I've literally like finished my training shift, shown up the next shift, and they like are literally firing the dude who trained me right in front of me. And I was just like,
Damn.
and like the guy was just like, he walked up and gave me a hug and was like, "I don't blame you, man," and like walked off, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Dude.
Like,
Don't blame me for what, motherfucker?
The backdoor experiences.
and like literally, I found out, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I literally just followed this dude around for like 5 days.
Yeah,
We know each other's middle names.
he was
Like,
he
I
was
so
actually
pissed.
still teaching me
talk
shit.
so much.
And it was like a buddy of mine. Like,
Yeah.
I was so mad about it. I couldn't believe it. I just thought it was the most dickhead move anyone ever did. Like, it got me a good job, but like at the same time, like literally, like I just thought I was coming in, and all of a sudden, like literally, I finished up. Dude's fired. Here you go. I'm like,
Well,
man.
say la vie or whatever.
I
I
mean,
don't speak Italian.
it's kind of part. It's kind of par for the course when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of happens in any business. It's just sometimes it's a little more obvious.
Yeah.
Well, a little more-
I mean, even like when we started, I was talking about
they're
like
just
stealing
brutal.
recipes, and I brought up that Italian dude. Like, they literally were trying to get me to do that, and like I was kind of buddies. Like, I was like 20, and this dude is like a 45-year-old off the boat Italian guy, like making pizzas for this entire company. And I'm like, kind of like, I think they're trying to make me like take your job so they can fire you.
well,
And
those
he's
guys are
he's
kind
like,
of
"And
serious about their recipes.
But he was also like, I will teach you everything except for the end, so they can't fire me. And I'm like, okay, cool. And like somewhere in the middle there, before he got fired or whatever, I ended up leaving the place. But it was just like that was the situation, like, where they're like, learn everything this guy can teach you, so we can get rid of him and you'll make more money. And I was like, okay. And like we go out and have
Well,
a
you
cigarette
make
together.
more money than him. That's the question.
But like at the same time, like,
well,
you want me to learn everything from
I
this
mean,
dude and then
hold on,
get him
he
fired?
raises a
Obviously
valid point
not,
about
but
that.
You know they reveal.
where do
themselves
you
too
draw that
much.
line?
Like, why
I
become
mean-
as good as him if they're gonna do that to you?
I'm a whore to an extent, you know.
Where do you
like,
draw the line, though?
dude? On something like that, like I ain't taking like. I'll never be sorry for making more money, but I will never take money that was someone else's. Like,
That's
you
a
know
good
what
point.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
If they get
like
too
if I get bumped
explicit
up,
with
but
it.
I'm not gonna get rid of you so that I can make more money. Like,
Yeah.
that's silly. Like,
If
come
me
on.
just showing up and being new gets you fired, in
But
2
that's part of
weeks,
your job,
you're
though. So
fucking
think about
it
that
up.
for a second. So
You
where
were
do you
fucking
draw the
else
line?
Anyway,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, unless in a really unique situation, you're
I
not
just
gonna
think
just let someone
I
new come
just
in
think
and
that one
replace you.
specific example, like with that when I was getting trained, like they literally fired the dude. I'm like, bro, come, like
They
everyone,
had him on the
everyone,
way out, though.
but everyone like, was looking
Well,
at
they
me
knew
like
what they were doing,
That
obviously.
was everyone that was working there was looking at me like I'm the asshole, and I was literally
Well,
like,
you were the guy
what
that
the fuck?
they're banking
I
on.
was like, everyone came up to, like there was a couple people that came up to me and like were like, what the fuck, like you're kind of an asshole for doing that, and I'm like, that was my buddy.
I didn't
Like-
do any of this.
Yeah, like,
And that
Like, he literally
again,
got me
that's-
this
that's
job.
another thing.
You're right.
They think
I
it was
hired
you
me,
when
and then I fired him
because
too.
you're the,
It was
you're
all
the
me.
heir apparent,
Fuck you.
and they think that you're the one that
I
did
do
the
what I
deed.
want.
You're not.
Right.
I'm just I'm just a victim of circumstance kind
Right.
of thing.
all right.
Question
Well,
3.
question number 3. Thanks for getting me on time. When you go home, like in the car or whatever, are you a listen to silence type of person, or are you bumping music?
Oh, I'm music all day, man.
What do you listen to?
Sum 41. I knew it.
No.
Stewart to a party like my name was El Nino.
Man, it's completely random. I can be listening to like light 70s slow jams one day, and then I can be listening to Entombed the next. The stuff I listen
I'm
to
gonna I'm gonna assume Entombed isn't a polka band.
it is not.
Metal, probably. yeah.
It's death metal. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Um,
I don't know if everybody else knew what that was, but I did
No.
not, so I had to ask.
No, I thought he actually said in tune, and I thought it was like some sort of acapella
like,
band. or
like
something.
In Tune, the new boy band.
Yeah.
Sounds
In
yeah.
Tune.
They do only 80s Joel covers. They're like, oh, for the longest time. Oh.
We only do 80s Joel.
Only 80s
So
Joel.
good. I don't know why.
We are
Hey,
Uptown
Piano
Girl.
Man.
Strictly 80s Joel, sir.
That's a
That's
telephone.
so good.
But I never silence. Ever, never silence. There's music all
No
the
matter
time.
the night, like dead, busy as fuck, anything.
So,
you're
dude,
always bumping.
I'm an open book, man. I listen to some extremely obscure music. I enjoy a lot of stuff that a lot of people would consider satanic, maybe.
Like necrophagist.
Can you send me that link, please?
This
I'll look
is
it
a
up.
legitimate band one of my best friends listens to.
I'll look it up, man.
Necrophagist.
I will look it up.
It's like super technical death metal. You
Yeah?
know, like.
I got
math
I got
rock
some
type of
buddies that are
stuff.
into math metal. They
Yeah.
actually have their own band.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
you know
My
them,
buddy
too.
Bill only listens to
Doug.
like extreme math rock.
Math.
Dude, they're
Why is it
fucking.
math?
Doug Taylor and
It's
Yeah.
because it's like
Dude, it's not math.
shredding. It's like
but
shredding metal
it's-
that's so fast that it's like
Arpeggio.
and it's like you have to be a scientist to play it.
Yes.
That's why it's math rock.
Dude, Dakota's a fucking incredibly talented human being.
I'm
I've
telling you,
never heard of this.
it's like shredding
Math
that's like
metal?
100
It's-
times
yeah.
faster than
You never heard of
anything
math
else.
metal? Like,
well, yeah,
dude,
math metal's different. I like math rock. I
Dillinger
don't
Escape
like
Plan.
math metal.
Look it up.
Yeah, it's like
Tony Danza
Like,
Tap
just-
Dance Extravaganza. That's a real band.
Have
I
you
thought
ever
that was a
listened?
song. That was
No, it's a
that's
real
great
band.
song.
Have you ever listened to Farmers Market?
I have.
Yeah, Farmers Market is like in the extreme technical death metal vein, but they play like traditional Eastern European instruments. So they're all playing like
I thought you only listened to yodeling
klezmer.
and shit like
They're all
that.
like
No.
playing klezmer, and they have like clarinets, and they're like.
That actually sounds amazing.
All right. Well, you guys need to listen to some technical death
Wish there
metal.
was video of
obviously.
you doing that impression of that band.
that blah, blah, blah impression
looked
is
like
what
something
all,
I've seen before.
It doesn't
but
have
I'll
to-
place
super
it.
technical music sounds like to me. When I listen to Les Claypool, it's like bang, 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 bang.
These fucking.
No, it's
You know what I'm talking about, right?
And it's a real thing.
It's yeah.
Right.
They're like the
No,
clarinet,
it's no, and it's crush.
You guys need to widen your horizons. That's all I have to say.
I don't. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do. Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll send you a Spotify link.
Yeah, thank you.
But the funny thing is, the last thing I listened to before I got here was light 70s jams. Dancing with my phone, swaying to the
That is not what
music.
was playing in my car.
I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah.
The last thing I was listening to.
It's like Casey and the Sunshine Band, like Little River Band,
dude.
like
I'm way past that. Like,
Love some LRB.
Playa. You've heard Playa before.
I don't think so. Is that a rapper?
Oh my God, y'all need therapy.
we're gonna have to play it.
It's probably true.
Play it, dude. As soon as you hear it, you're gonna
We're
know.
gonna
it.
get demonetized. We can't play it.
As soon as you hear it, you're gonna be like, dude.
anybody's listening to this.
All right. Dude, if we get sued by Little River Band, I'm
Yeah,
so
right.
upset.
Or
No.
Let's go to question number 4 real quick. What is the best advice you have to give to anyone going into a bar or restaurant these days to make their experience more pleasurable? Like, what can they do to help themselves?
Don't be a dick.
That's good advice.
I mean, think about how you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
You're not entitled to anything.
That includes French fries.
Shout out to all the
However,
servers waiting in the window.
They never specified if they wanted them cooked in the garbage, rotted, with mold. They did not specify.
Yeah.
So the platform is yours, sir. No, but don't be a dick. You know, we work our asses off, man. We put in a lot of. We miss a lot.
Yeah,
We
the
do-
sacrifice is real.
It's a real thing, man. Like we do more than you actually think. We're always there. Like when you want a holiday and you want to get away from your family, where are we? We're at the bar, right?
Exactly.
We're working for you.
Or if you're going out with your family.
yeah,
Guess who we're
guess
not
who's
with?
there?
Yeah.
We're always there, right? Don't be a dick.
I mean, that's great advice.
We're always fucking there, right? Don't be a dick. We're always fucking there. Why? Seriously.
Brings me up to something that you wrote down before. Don't fuck with the people that fuck with your food.
Yes, sir. Never
Yeah.
fuck with the people that fuck with your food.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't care. Man,
I totally ignore this advice. I'm like, you fucking pie cut this, you idiots.
so I might do that out of spite.
Okay. There was an earlier story.
I
where-
might do it out of spite now.
There's an earlier story where like I'm a regular at Finn's every Sunday, and they brought me out this XL pizza, which is never
Okay, did you talk about this in the previous podcast?
Yes, we
okay,
did.
yeah, I heard this.
never pizza cut. It's always fucking tavern cut, and it comes out and it's just like 8 huge wedges. This whole pizza, I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
You were so upset.
I was joking. I
But
was
that's,
doing
hold
like
on, but that's an honest feeling, right?
But I was doing like a Karen shtick about it, but I really was a little bit like, what the fuck, you know?
that's
The
an
little,
honest-
the little
that's an
triangle
honest
corners.
feeling. That's an honest
I don't
feeling.
get any of the.
Yeah, I was like, there's 4 little corners that I'm not getting to eat on this pizza.
What the corner's the best fucking part,
Yeah,
man.
it does. But
Oh, you get a little corner with a piece of
The real
come
crux
on,
of the
dude.
story
I
is
think I
that
literally
I
grabbed
ate
the
the
knife
whole
and
thing
cut,
in
like,
5
part
minutes
of the-
anyways. Like,
You're just salty about the way it was cut.
yeah, I ate the whole fucking 14-inch pizza in like 10 minutes. I mean, it was gone. But
This sucks.
I was like,
I'm mad.
yeah, I was like, fuck
Dude, you guys suck.
and I'm
I'm
like
leaving.
stuffing
I'm gonna
double-decker
make
pieces
you watch
in.
me eat this pizza right now. and
Ask
see,
me after every
and see
bite
the
if I'm happy.
displeasure.
Not happy.
Yeah, does this look
Not
right?
happy.
Does this
Not
look right? I should
happy.
be eating
Oh,
little
God, that's
squares.
good.
Less happy.
But I'm not
more
enjoying
happy, Less happy again.
See this? You should be little squares. You fucks.
So you're talking about tavern pizza, baby? Yeah. That's what
I
I'm
feel
that's,
like
that's
Isn't that the same as getting in the middle?
Now that I know, guys, they're better. I feel like the dudes in the
What's the
kitchen
best part
were
of any
fucking with
tavern
me.
pizza? The crust
the
part.
crust.
Yeah, so just get a New York cut.
No.
Oh, man,
No.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
maybe-
not a tavern. I am
No.
a deep dish and New York style.
Maybe
I
maybe
just
it's
don't
bi-
like
I-
the fluffiness of dough in,
So
in New
is
York
that is that considered a bias because I don't like want a pie cut?
doesn't make you biased.
Liking what you like is 100%
Just
a
a-
No,
bias.
but
trust
I mean
me.
in Chicago it's a real thing, right?
no, like Chicago,
Yeah,
no one
it's a
wants
real
pie.
thing.
In Chicago,
Nobody
everyone
gets
wants
pie
squares.
cut.
Everyone wants squares in
I
Chicago.
want squares.
That's part of what my complaint was. I was like, yeah, you know.
I mean, when I cut a pizza at home, I cut a pie cut.
Yeah,
if
like a
it's
frozen
if
pizza?
it's
Yeah.
Tombstone,
When you're saying pie cut, are you talking triangles? Or
Pie cut is
squares?
triangles.
Pie cut. Like I'm thinking like
Pie cut's not squares. That's tavern.
That's
Like,
tavern
yeah,
cut.
tavern pizza.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not cutting that way at home.
you do pie cut like
Yeah.
like you
Have
go
you
the
seen
8
somebody
slices?
cut a pie in a square?
yeah, I would pie cut a Tombstone
Well,
I
I've-
made at home.
That's all I'm doing.
But that's
Really?
different. That's
Like,
a
I'm not-
10-inch pizza.
I'm
That's
not-
a 10-inch
Whoa,
pizza.
whoa!
not
Your
making
whole
real
argument is
pizza at
fucking
home, man.
bullshit now.
No,
no,
it's
no,
not.
no. You can't get
No.
a tombstone and go triangles and be like, I
Actually, you
refuse to eat,
can.
and then I refuse to eat
Yeah, I
anything
can.
else in triangles. Are
Hey,
you serious?
Hey, I'm the customer, so I'm always right.
my
So I can do whatever I want.
I say
Yeah.
a good
Damn.
day, sir. A good day.
I was
Be-
on your side for so
yeah.
long.
No.
Oh, you fucked
No,
up.
you you wouldn't
We
cut a
crossed the
bigger
line
pizza a different way than a smaller
Like a
pizza.
Jack's, like a
Well, it's a
frozen
different
Jack's
pizza.
No,
We're not talking about the
still
same
with you.
quality of
But you said
pizza,
you were the
right?
customer and you're
No,
always
no.
right, so you lost me. Just on principle.
Okay,
I
wait,
have
Wait,
to-
when you get
The
like a
argument
Jack's
they're
frozen
making is
pizza,
that I have to cut a ribeye steak and a prime rib the same way, and fuck that. That's not just because it's technically the same
man.
thing. doesn't-
real. We do.
No. Okay.
Prime rib's
Large pizza,
solid,
tavern cut.
but if you're getting like
Individual
if you're getting a
pizza.
Jack's pizza, a Jack's pizza.
Nobody's cutting an 8 or 10-inch pizza into fucking squares. It's like 2 squares.
If you're from Chicago, you're supposed to, right? Like that's
No.
what that's
You're
my
not
whole
supposed
thing.
to. It's just
Do
a
whatever you
preference.
want,
So
man.
why can't I get
It's
a
a
slice from the
preference.
fucking
I'm gonna blow
tavern?
your fucking
Like,
mind here. If you don't have all the shit to make a Chicago-style hot dog, and all you have is ketchup and mustard, I'm putting ketchup and mustard on a hot dog.
Wait,
right?
What?
you piece of shit.
If
Yeah,
that's all you
fuck
have
you,
there,
Jay.
I'm not eating it with just mustard.
Fuck you, James
Yes.
Clancy.
A Chicago-style hot
If
dog.
you're
hot
over
dog is
if you're
different.
over 10 years old, you're not allowed to put
Yeah.
ketchup on a hot
Yeah.
dog in
Ketchup
Chicago.
is not a law allowed over
Oh,
here.
okay.
If you're a
And
kid, that's
it
one
gives
I'm
thing.
doing it anyway.
and it gives me heartburn.
When I used to go to the
Okay.
White Sox game when I was a kid, you'd raise your hand
Then
and the
you're
guy
not
would
from
bring
Chi-
you a hot
you're-
dog and it
you
had
can't- you
mustard
can't
and
call yourself a
onions, and
Chicago
that is
guy.
I
my
never
shit.
claim myself to be a Chicago guy.
There it is.
with your old mustache, are you talking like? Seriously?
I'm from
you
where
look-
I'm from,
you
man.
look like a
if
Chicago
you don't have
guy.
fucking celery salt and all you have is ketchup and mustard, I'm not. Yeah, I'm doing both.
You look like a Chicago guy.
yeah. Well,
You definitely do.
I don't know.
He's from Twin Lakes, actually. He's Wisconsin.
no, I'm from Des Plaines, Round Lake. I
So
lived
you
in
are
Twin
an
Lakes
Illinois
for.
guy.
I lived in Twin. I'm an Illinois guy. Yeah, I lived in Twin Lakes for like 4 months.
You're the whole mix of all the northwest suburbs.
Eclectic.
Yeah, yeah. And if
James
it's
from all the places
if it's
I'd
just
never
shitty
go.
yellow mustard, maybe I'll eat hot. Yeah, I'm putting maybe I'll do it. But
Shitty
a little bit
yellow
of ketchup,
mustard?
little
What
bit
If
of
it's like
ketchup.
if it's like
shitty?
like good Dijon mustard though.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
You
Then
put
you don't
Grey
need ketchup.
Poupon on a wiener.
Oh sure, if it's there, it's somebody else's jar. Oh, I'm going to town. Yeah.
What if there's no knife and the only thing you do is either stick the hot dog in there or your finger to layer it on top of the hot
I'm
dog?
dipping.
A finger all day. Finger all day.
All right.
This is the podcast we ask like the deep questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is important stuff.
I think that was the end of this part of the 1,
2,
3,
4
questions.
questions part of this podcast. Which brings us up to the best part, the whole reason we're all here. Mr. Cutt, again,
Yes.
thanks for coming and hanging out.
Thank you,
with us.
thank you.
Salud. Everybody cheers. Let's
Cheers.
get hammed.
No
What are
more
you
shots because
Old
we're
South?
way too fucked. for more
Mister,
shots
Mister,
right
not a Chicago guy drinking Old Style over here. Okay, yeah, whatever.
Give me an old style.
I'm not going to lie, when I describe you, I go, he's like a Chicago guy.
Yeah, have you ever seen the Superfan skit on SNL? Like, Jay's all of them at the same time.
And weighs the same as all of them at the same time.
Got a piece of sausage lodged in the
Bowls.
lining of my heart.
Sausage.
Pretty much. I haven't noticed it as much lately, but it's still there.
All right, Mr. Cutt. We ask this of everybody that comes on here. What is the craziest thing that you have experienced, seen, been subjugated to while working in this industry that we call service?
Man, you're not gonna like this.
It's okay.
If it's disgusting, that's even better, really.
The first part about this, I actually got it.
All right, let's take 5.
Yeah, let's take 5. Hey!
All right, so Patrick, you're at a party. They have hot dogs. All they have is ketchup and mustard. You're just putting mustard on your hot dog?
100%.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm a hundo.
100% just
I'm 100%
mustard.
with you.
All
Everybody-
right,
everybody good?
segment B of portion B of segment 3. Here we go.
Subsection A.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Cutt. What is the craziest thing that you've ever seen, been subjugated to, experience, forced to witness anything in this industry?
This is not going to be pretty.
Perfect.
As long as we aren't legally obligated to tell the police
No.
about it.
No,
I think Patrick just explained the rules.
the police were alerted to it when it
Oh,
happened.
jeez.
This involves the deli slicer. So there, I had
Was there a moil involved?
no. So I had a kid. He's working Grand Marché, and he's
Explain to these peasants what that means.
salad station.
Yeah, salads, maybe desserts.
Grand Marseille.
Yeah. Grand Marché. You're the Grand A manager.
Yeah.
So at the time we were doing security reports to order, right?
Okay.
He starts slicing, right, and he knows, it's just Genoa, right? He's going.
Is it like an electric one, like
Yeah.
like one of those metal ones? You
So
see?
it could have been, it was automatic, but he chose not to do that this time. And he's going, and we're a busy kitchen, right? And I'm barking at him. You know, where's my Cobb? Where's my Michigan? And he's slicing meat, and he looks at me. He's like, "It's coming," and he goes, and it takes off. He literally slices his hand, like he took his knuckles and sliced them,
Ugh.
like off.
Mm.
Did you guys duct tape it?
No, I took the kid outside and I super glued him.
Dude, we talked about that. Super glue fixes everything.
Like just
Dude.
enough
Dude, it was,
skin, yeah?
dude.
Or no?
We ended up having to take him to the emergency room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Were you guys in the middle of the rush when this
Yes,
happened?
middle
Yeah.
of the shit.
Oh.
Dude, and this kid was under 18 at that time.
So legally,
Yeah, my dad
Bad
has a
news
meat
bears.
slicer story that has always made me kind of like,
Dude, and I watched it happen too because I was asking him for a set because I was running the pass, right?
Ugh.
And
he
I'm
just took skin off, right? Or he
no,
took
no, he came and
fingers.
off,
Not the fingers.
dude.
Like
Take
the-
this and half it.
So like like that chunk
Dude,
of
he
his
took it
finger
off.
right there.
He gone.
Like, oh.
I got one of these at home.
Gone, and he didn't even know it. Like he was right. He kept going. Like he did it twice. I'm not gonna lie to you. He did it twice. He didn't know.
Those are like brutal, man. Like,
Dude, it was like when I saw it, I'm like, whoa! And he was ready to do it. And he actually
what's the little
successfully
fucking
did it
thing?
again.
the mandolin.
Dude,
Oh my
the
god!
most dangerous thing in
Oh
the
my
kitchen.
god, dude! Like
That thing will destroy
you
your
will
life.
see just fingertips fly.
But it's the greatest thing that you have. But it's the
Oh.
most dangerous thing you
Yeah.
have.
A million man hours, but
You want to make ratatouille?
Yeah.
oh, so bad. Oh,
Dude, this kid,
Need a
this kid,
mandolin.
I don't know.
this kid shaved his fucking knuckles off.
dude, this is like
And like bones.
this
too.
Yeah.
story and Corey's story with the
slicer.
No,
with
look-
the vinaigrette where
Corey-
he spilled the
Where the
balsamic
guy,
reduction.
where his feet were melting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there?
No, I was not there, but
But you heard it?
dude, Corey's my mentor.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of which, all right, let's. We never talked about this. Like, so we just had someone drive through the fucking kitchen basically over at Finn's.
Insane.
So you haven't talked about this on the podcast yet?
It just happened.
Just happened a couple weeks
We
ago.
didn't have one
and
last
I haven't
Monday.
been here.
So that would have been the time. Yeah.
But yeah, like
I live a
freak-
sheltered life, man. I work in a
freak,
country club.
like freak accident. Like, dude just revved the engine, and slipped into gear, and took off down this alley and ran into our
That's-
got line.
I never heard why it happened.
so
he
was this like a
actually
car that he
driving
actually built?
southbound when it happened. So
Wait,
you can see it from the parking lot where like the coffee shop is, but that's not where he pulled in. He pulled in by the ice cream shop, right?
Right. So
And went straight south into the right.
didn't pull in like the car show was going on there, so he was in
Yeah.
the car show, so he was like on Cook, facing the alley, like he
And
was
right-
he was
yeah,
already
like
facing.
this
yeah.
guy's
Into
probably
gear.
pissed off that we're talking about it.
So he was just like parked there, like I'm parked here all day because this is where my spot is.
Well,
No,
And then
it's,
he
the,
gets in
it's
the
the car
car.
show.
I mean, it's a car show.
He had a vintage car.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Did he
like
actually
that,
build it himself?
No, he had a kit,
It's a
which
replica
saved his
car.
which saved his life. That it was a replica.
No
Because they had an
shit.
airbag.
Airbag, yeah.
Because he would have
Ah.
been smashed.
Yeah.
Dude. You should see the video.
He
He
fucked-
plows through the grease dumpster and it fucking
Yeah, it-
explodes into the air and there's just like
What?
vegetable oil like showering down
And he was like,
everywhere. I was
like
oh
on
my
top of him.
God.
Yeah, because it's a convertible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's convertible. Yeah,
Oh my god, that's the
It
worst
was,
smell.
dude,
ever.
it was one of those.
that's what I was telling you, man. He's gonna smell like French
That's
fries
the
for a
worst
year.
smell.
It was one of
ever.
those like Excalibur. Those. It's like a replica of like a 20s.
Dude, he's not gonna get
Mercedes
that smell
limousine.
off him for like 2 months.
Dude, like it's like he's gonna shot when he's going to bed. That is
He's
what
not-
he's
it's-
literally
it's
just gonna be
there.
like,
There's not.
Why
enough
do you smell like a
shampoo.
fucking French fry?
dude. It's like, is that worse than a skunk? I mean, like, it's like skunk and that, right? Like those are the two
You
worst.
can get rid of skunk in 3 days.
Little tomato,
Tomato
juice.
juice.
Yeah.
No, tomato juice.
I mean,
No.
Use this stuff
Jay,
for
Jay's from
dogs.
Twin Lakes. He knows.
I've been skunked twice as an adult man.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
Not on purpose.
How?
Not from Twin Lakes. I lived there for a while. But yeah, I'm from Brown Lake, like right around here. The first time I got skunked, I was walking home from a party because I had a fight with my lady friend at the time. And I was like, fuck it. I'll walk from like by Caboose Park and Lake Villa to where I live in Grays Lake, which would have been a long walk. Got sprayed by a skunk. Got picked
But
up.
what
by
did
a
you-
They
skunk.
walking
Does
down the
that mean it's
highway or
shorter?
what? Like,
But what did you do after it happened?
Well, I just kept walking. I was like, well, this fucking sucks. What am I going to do? Roll around in the dirt? I'm not going to go back.
I stopped. I was like,
Yeah, what
kept
the fuck
walking,
is he
man.
gonna do?
What am I supposed to do? I was hoping I could walk it off.
He just calls 911. He's like, guys.
No.
Walk it off.
And then some guy went flying in front of. I was approaching. I made it a pretty good, about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. And then this guy just like goes flying through the intersection. Cop comes after him. Obviously, for whatever reason, the second cop that was after him stopped, turned by me, like saw me, and like asked, like,
what the fuck?
"What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, having a bad night, first of all. If you'd like me to explain
Give
how
me a
so,
ride home, I say.
I will." And I told him, and he was like, just get in my fucking car, dude. I get in there, and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, it's not weed. I got sprayed by a skunk. And he's
He
like,
knew that.
he's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, all right. He's like, where are you walking to? And I was like, Gray's Lake. And he's like, yeah. I don't know if I'm. Yeah.
He's like, you
can't
are
stop
gonna
it.
walk
He gave
all
me
the
a
way
deal.
there.
He basically said, "Here's what's gonna happen. I'm
can't
gonna
stomach
drive you
it.
home to Gray's Lake, but if I ever see you intoxicated in Lake Villa again, I'm gonna recognize you and I'm gonna remember you, and you're not
At
gonna
least he was
remember
cool
me."
about it.
And I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
And I was like, "You're right. I'm not gonna remember."
At
you."
least he was cool about it.
Yeah, he was very cool. He drove me home, and he was like, "All right." But I got out. He's like, "Fuck off."
I mean, because he's going back to his buddies and telling the same
like,
story,
"Oh,
but
I just saw the fattest guy I've ever seen. And he
he's,
was-
he's literally like talking to his cop buddy. He's like, I was trying to be a nice guy and give this fat guy a ride home. And he smelled like shit.
yeah. Son of a bitch. He was huffing and puffing.
He said it was a skunk, but I know it was the reefer.
No, he
Jay, I love you
he
so much.
said it wasn't
buddy.
weed, but I knew
No,
it was.
I like turned out my pockets, and he was like, "Well, you didn't have to do that." I didn't have any.
I swear to God.
I literally got.
I swear to God, I got skunked.
I wanted him to be
So
as
good.
sure as I was that I got skunked.
I swear to God, cop, if you got any weed, please give it to me.
And then about 2 years later, I was walking home from my closing shift here, and I live right there. It's like a 10-minute walk, and I there's only sidewalks on one half of the street for a while, so I cross the street, and there's a big old like bush right there, and I walk up to it, and I hear like something rattling around. It's a fucking skunk. I look down. I'm like, God damn it! I'm
So,
there. I'm right there. It's
I
sprayed me.
actually got one of them before. Like, I got dropped off in Libertyville, and guy lived.
Dude, skunks are mean as
Dude,
fuck.
guy lived like left of where I was at, and I lived right of that street.
My dog, I've caught many of them.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's usually
fuck
dogs
that.
that get sprayed,
Dude,
not adult men.
My
but-
dogs
Mine,
haven't gotten
300
sprayed, but
pairs.
My
they've
dogs
killed
love
them.
getting sprayed.
Luckily,
No,
the only
they've
thing that
killed 'em.
sprayed me, like he like sprayed me, but I ran so fast that he just fucked my Jordans up. But it was like a $300 pair of Jordans. Like, I shit you not. I got to
What
the
a little
house.
flex there.
He's only pissed about
If you
his
just
shoes.
run,
It's
you
like
won't get
he's the
skunked.
roadrunner, and he took off so fast that he's gone, but his Nikes are hanging behind.
I'm
and
not-
They get like.
I'm not even
shreds.
joking. Like I was like, I literally get to the
You're
house.
just so fast
I
that you
literally
didn't
get to
get
the
that
house.
oil-based fucking.
Shout out Michael Jordan.
Dude,
But-
that shit looks like highlighter. It's like neon. Because I used to. My dogs got skunked all the time, but they were brown. You couldn't tell. So now I got this white dog, and when he gets
What do you mean you
skunked,
couldn't tell?
it looks like highlighter, like fucking neon green marker, and it's like shiny in the light on him. It's fucking bizarre. It's like he got gacked by an alien or something.
Yeah, so I get back to my apartment and I call my roommate. I call him. I'm like, "Hey man, I don't know what to do, man. I just got skunked," and he's like, "What? Like literally?"
Yeah,
Or like,
how?
yeah. And I'm like, "Well, I was walking home and a skunk sprayed me," and he was like, "Fuck. All right." So fortunately, somehow he had a plan. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna throw a pair of your shorts down, and then you're just gonna change in the basement, and then you're gonna go upstairs, and then there's some Dawn dish soap with that. You're just gonna have to take like a long ass shower with Dawn dish soap." And so I did that, and it didn't work.
I literally was like looking at you like,
it
No,
mostly
no.
worked. But then the next day was my girlfriend's birthday, right? So I go, I'm with her parents and her brother and her, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna come out and tell you guys what happened to me last night because I don't want you guys to think
that had to have
anything
been
else.
brutal.
the young man.
Yeah, and her
You might
parents
want to
just
switch
both start
to Old
dying laughing.
Spice.
Talk about putting your tail between your legs,
Yeah.
right?
Holy
And
fuck.
I'd known him for a while at that point.
Please excuse the smell tonight.
Yeah. And her brother goes,
It's not
I
weed.
was hoping it. Yeah, I was like, either that's like the worst weed I've ever smelled, or I was like, no.
It's the
Actually, it's the
weed.
best weed you've ever
Yeah,
smoked.
yeah. That was yesterday's skunk. That's what that one's called.
Just so you know, I'm not high right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did.
Just to let you know,
at 2
I
in the
am
morning.
high, but not because of that smell.
I was. Yeah, I was a pedestrian at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
It's
I am
not
high, but
that.
not. It's,
If
unrelated.
anybody has anything that smells like that, let me know.
Yeah, unrelated.
I am
but-
in the market. Fuck yeah.
We need to wrap up this podcast and get a pizza. Sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Paulie Cutt.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming out, man. This was fucking great, dude. Like, honestly, you're a lifer, dude. You've been in the business. You know what it is.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on, sharing your stories, sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please like, share, subscribe, rate, comment.
Avoid skunks.
Yeah,
Avoid
tell your friends.
skunks. All
not to
that
read.
good shit. We are, I think we just hit 3,000 views on YouTube.
Whoa.
Boom, boom. I think he was our 106th subscriber on
I was
YouTube.
doing some homework.
3,000 people's like a middle school multi-purpose room at least full of people.
Dude, it's
At
almost
least.
There are other ways to phrase that too. Like with adults. Hopefully there
Yeah,
are no children
including
listening.
15 chaperones. All right.
All right, but
Thank you for having me, guys.
thanks,
This was fun.
dude. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it,
Legit
man.
fun.
And again, on the short notice, dude, we really appreciate it. But that was awesome.
Nah,
This
I
was.
had a great time, man.
I'm not gonna lie. This is one of my funnest
Yeah,
ones we've
this-
had.
this
is a
episode's
fun
great.
one. Yeah.
Great episode.
But yeah, like I said, hit us up on Instagram. We're on the YouTubes. I think that's it.
Spotify.
Spotify. Follow
Instagram,
us.
YouTube, Spotify.
We're
Like,
about to make
share,
a Zanga.
comment.
We're gonna make a Zanga.
We're gonna make I think you made that
Yeah, I
joke
have a
already.
MySpace coming out
Probably.
pretty soon. Don't worry.
LinkedIn.
But yeah, if you got the story that everyone needs to hear, hit us up at 4shotspodcast@gmail.com. Has anyone looked at that Gmail in a while?
Yeah. No, it comes to my computer.
Has anyone hit us up?
No.
So let's keep it going.
All right.
No.
No,
Shout out to Roddy. Ronnie hit us up.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
We'll
I'll
have
come
him on
back again, man.
someday.
Here's nothing on, dude. Fuck you.
Oh shit! All right,
This was fun, man. Thank you.
boys
Thank you
and
very
girls. This has been another episode of the 1,
2,
3.
4 Shots Podcast.
Oh shit,
Yeah. I'm top tier wasted right now.
dude! It's sober October, bro. I'm not drinking
Yeah,
this
you
month.
fucking asshole.
Well, at least you're not drinking, all right?
Oh my god, if I can't eat a fucking greasy dinner, I'm gonna die.